Yo, what's up, guys? This is Drizzt. How is everybody doing? Hopefully, everyone's had a good day so far. Mine's actually been kind of poopy, but that ain't stopping me. So, as the title suggests, today's live stream, I will be doing a live reaction to Roger Base's Dragon Theory, which I have heard some things about, but I have not yet watched it. And I'm going to critically review it, tell you the pros and cons of that video. And then after that will probably be some Q&A in between, and then I will be doing the usual before the chapter comes out, and I'll be reading the chapter predictions from Orwell Jackson, as well as give my own input to what I think is going to happen. So, that's the schedule for today. As usual, I have a feeling this is going to be a fairly long stream, because I think the Roger review will take a good bit of time. I even have a notepad right here, so I can write down notes while I'm listening to Roger's theory. But we'll be doing that in a few. I'm gonna wait for some people to join in. So I'm just gonna chat with the chat for a little bit. Yo, double like Sanji. Yo, has school been like on the downtrend for you lately? Cause you seem to be around more often. That's sick. Strong World Nami was movie quality bouncy, hard to top that. If you want to top that, just basically watch Film Gold. That bouncy is better. Joseph Singleton says, "Do you see my new video? Which video did you like?" I have not yet watched your video, Joseph Singleton. As I said before in the previous stream, I have you bookmarked on my tab. Let's start a war. Dragon equals Yonko. That is a good way to start a war, both from Yonko fanboys and from Dragon fanboys. Drizzt, did you hear the new bounty for Luffy from the comic book / anime? The Luffy's bounty is 500 billion. So there are a few ways to tackle this. One of them is that the way that the anime and like the manga does the bounty, like it looks different than what you would normally see. Secondly, this is Toei we're talking about, so they most likely fucked up because they do that a lot. But as always, you would not take precedence over Toei as opposed to the manga. So always take the manga first. You know what I'm talking about? Am I going to be talking about the Dragon video? I will be. I'm going to wait for a little bit, Mr. Tick Tick Smash, so that more people can come in and join. Because I know that a lot of people, they usually filter in once the stream starts. So it'll be like a little bit. I just want to get most of the people here. Yo, Drizzt Green from Indonesia. Yo, Indonesia, that is so sick. I feel like I'm going to butcher your name. Kifni Taufik Darmawan. Oh god, I'm so bad. Well, thank you. What is up? What time is it in Indonesia right now? Yeah, so let's see. Best haircut in One Piece? Haircut? So that basically just means hairstyle, because no one really gets haircuts in One Piece. As I ponder that, I will take a drink of my patented one of two drinks, Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper. Taste the rainbow. Best haircut, which, as I said, is basically best hairstyle. I think it's personal preference. I don't know. I have to think about it. I guess this would go along with kind of what aesthetic appeal to characters you like the most. I feel like I would have to go back and look, because there's probably some side characters that actually have some fabulous hair. Yo, what's up, Candyman? What do I think about Carrot? To be honest, I'm not like the biggest Carrot fan. Like, I think she's alright, but I am certainly not on like the Carrot hype train. I think she's an okay character, but she could definitely use some more characterization. Because, you know, one of the criticisms for Carrot is that she's basically Chopper 2.0 in the crew. I'd like for her to have some more individuality, but we'll see what Oda has planned for her. Cavernous has fabulous hair. Well, he's a fabulous individual. Perona actually does have awesome hair post-time skip. That is true. That's a fact. Let's see. Best hairstyle. Let's see. Double X says I'd say Frankie with his normal hairstyle. Yo, Frankie is actually a really good choice. You know, one of the things from pre-time skip that people loved about Frankie was his hairstyle. People missed that, like, as long as like his regular body, obviously. Shisui says, "Hi Drizzt, will you be uploading the stream?" I actually am going to be uploading the stream. I imagine that, you know, it will probably face a lot of criticism because one of the things that you guys, if you have watched Brago's streams over the past month and a half, 2 months, is that criticism of anything within One Piece, especially of either the characters or the people who review the content, is often taken with more than, you know, a dab of salt. So I assume that if I say anything negative about Roger when I do like the live reaction, that many of the people who like Roger, even though I like Roger myself, will take it in the wrong way. Drizzt, my man, I just got done watching the last stream of Joy Boy and Brago, and now you've got another one up. Awesome. Yo! Thanks for watching the stream. I'm surprised that, you know, that people are actually watching the streams. That's kind of something I didn't really think people would do, because they're very long videos, right? You gotta take a lot of time out. Yo, Drizzt, I love that panel of Nami. She's so gorgeous. Yeah, these are some of my favorite panels of Nami in recent memory. This one, actually, the one... It's reversed. Yeah, the one over here is from the Ace novel, and she's looking fabulous, obviously. And then, boom, obviously, that is fabulous as well. Yo, what's up, Ted Bell? You heard Roger's theory yet? I have not. I've heard some people talk about it, but I have not actually listened to the theory myself. The past month? Well, I mean, specifically the past month in terms of Katakuri. Brago's channel has always been very controversial, to say. You never answered the hairstyle question? Yeah, because, I don't know, it's really hard to... I don't know. Let me take a look real quick. I'm just gonna type... I wonder what happens if I type in One Piece hairstyles into Google. Yeah, as I thought, it's actual... I'm wondering if I just type in One Piece hair. One Piece anime hair. That gave me some good options. Oh, so like while we're on this topic, actually one of the things that I actually really liked is that I'm not sure how many people of you have seen like the designs that Oda went through and sketched as to what would be the time skip designs of a lot of the characters. But there was once like, you know, like I'm not sure if it was a fan sketch or like an Oda sketch of like different hairstyles for Nami. I think it might have been a fan sketch, but there were some hairstyles in there that like if Nami had done it, it would have been amazing. Drizzt calling out Roger confirmed. It's certainly going to sound like that because, you know, Roger, I feel like it's kind of like teching in a way where you're not supposed to take him super serious. But as a theorist and very critical person myself, I'm going to try and point out both the goods and the bads. People really only like to focus on the good part, so naturally there's going to be some butting of heads somewhere. Rayleigh has best hair. Rayleigh does have some glorious mane. Let me take a look back at this page, though. You know, I'm actually a fan of short hair, like on women at least, if it's done right. So actually, Nami's pre-time skip hair is probably one among the top, as well as Robin. Let's see. Boa's is kind of standard, especially in Japan. Mihawk's is kind of average. The only thing about Mihawk that makes him stand out, apart from his face, aside from his eyes, is basically his facial hair. Yo, what's up, Kay? Pudding has amazing, flowy and fluffy hair. Yeah, actually, Pudding does have really good hair. Do you think her swords will have more relevance? Probably heading into Wano, I would imagine. If it's not expanded upon, one that I'm not really sure when. The only other time would be, I don't know, maybe an encounter with Mihawk or Shiryu. Let's see. Other people with good hairstyles. It's kind of bland, but I actually really do like Shanks' hairstyle. I like the parting in the middle, so like I guess Sabo would fall in that category as well. But especially with Shanks' red hair, it looks good. So I'm certainly a fan of that. Let's see. Actually, it would be probably easier if I typed in One Piece's hair. Oh, I just saw another One Piece characters. One Piece characters. Actually, this is gonna sound weird, but I actually do like Kagura's hair. From Skypiea. Like it's really, I don't know. I come from a background of watching a lot of shows where like long hair was kind of cool. Like if many of you have watched Inuyasha, like Inuyasha's main thing, he had long flowing hair, and Kagura's is kind of like barbaric, rustic, kind of speaks a lot to his character, and I actually really like that hairstyle on his body. It's really good. Braga likes Mr. Ones. I'm sure you can relate to him, Brago. Since we are on hair, hair-based devil fruit, or is that thing already? Honestly, can't keep track. As far as I know, there is no hair devil fruit. The closest thing you could say is, I forget the name of the CP9 member, but the one guy who could control his hair, that Chopper smacked up. Let's see, let's look at some random characters here. La la la. I just wish there's other people other than just the Straw Hats, because I obviously know what they look like. Oh, actually, Sir Crocodile. Crocodile actually has some pretty cool hair, because there's not many characters in the series that have long, slick-backed hair. Well, not long, but like the slick-back hair in general. Devil is racist. Alright, Monkey D. David. Legit question. Drizzt. Roger got praised for saying Zoro can defeat Kaido, but AFT got hate for saying Sabo's Yonko level. I don't get that logic. Very stupid, once you say. Certainly very stupid, but, I don't really care to talk about it. I don't care about the consequences, so I will talk about it. So there's like multiple phases to answering why that is so. Much of it has to do with reputation. Whereas, even if you didn't really know much about each individual, it would be obvious that Roger is more reputed in the community than Anime Fan Talk. Anime Fan Talk is a person that is surrounded by controversy, and oftentimes is the brunt of many jokes. Whereas Roger he's not like the Sawyer of the community, where he's like the Shanks, everyone loves him, but he's certainly like boisterous and has a very upfront personality, which makes people connect to him more than they would Anime Fan Talk. So you have that. And another thing is that people believed Zoro killing Kaido because, like, in the theory, I can't really remember, but the thing wasn't that Zoro was, like, going to solo Kaido and that Kaido was Yonko level. Is that he was going to get, like, the last hit or something along that nature. So it was a lot more believable in terms of, like, I mean, it's not actually more believable, but there was at least some more substance to it than just, basic power level banter, saying Sabo is Yonko level. Stuff like that. So there's multiple things to that question you have to take into consideration. You love Saitama's haircut, baldness. Actually, that was pretty good. Quillo was dope. His hair is ass, though. I don't know who has the best hair, but I do know who has the worst facial hair, and that's Sanji with his creepy-ass goatee. I would agree with you, but for a different reason. I think that Sanji's facial hair is bad post-time skip, simply because that he has, like, the teen stash right here. It's a weird... It gives him a weird look sometimes, because, if you were like in real life, you would probably get flamed really hard for having like the teen stash, the not full mustache. So, you know, aside from that, I actually do enjoy the goatee. Braga was a wig-waz best hair. I have a thought. Guys, do you think Shanks will give Luffy Roger's hat as a sign that he is the pirate king in the movie? Do you guys think Shanks will give Luffy... You mean the hat he had after he gave Shanks the straw hat? Like, that's like the normal one? If so, then no. I do not think so. Why are you so low? Oh, yeah, hold on, wait up. How about this? Does this sound better? Am I louder now? I think, yeah. I turned myself down in the previous stream with Brago and JB because someone said that was too loud. Like, so I didn't want to, like, so I just turned it down because I didn't want to overshadow other people. But this should be better, I think. Maybe I'll turn up, I'm going to turn up full right now. You guys just tell me if it sounds okay. And so there you go. Brooke best feature that froyo. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, Sanji's mustache is odd at times, especially in the anime. It's actually weird in both the manga and the anime. So, at least for me, like certain panels, it looks weird. You especially notice Sanji's like teen stash whenever the panels aren't supposed to be super detailed. So, like, take for instance some of the chapters in like the Cake Factory. Whenever Sanji doesn't have like a like a posing face, this is like a poop, just a puke, two pieces of poop right there. The Vince Smokes have the worst hair. Ichiji's hair looks like his barber was Fujitora. I don't know. The worst hair of the Vince Smokes is certainly, without a doubt, Yonji, because he just looks like an idiot. Favorite Vince Smoke hair? Mine is Niji for style and color. Love your streams. Yo, thanks for liking the streams, William. As far as my favorite, I would also... Actually, if I would put Reiju in there, even though like I'm not a big fan of Reiju's character right now. I actually do like her hair. Like it's like somewhat curly at the end, but it's also short. Really like that. It looks really, really nice. If I were to choose from the men, I would also choose Niji as well. So there's that. It says, no, I mean Roger hat, the one that he had when he died to crown Luffy as the king of pirates. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's what I assumed you were saying. The hat he had after the hat with, you know, after the hat he gave to Shanks. 18-year-old Robin in Film Z greater than Boa. There is no difference between 18-year-old Robin and 30-year-old Robin. At least in my eyes. Alright, guys. Talk about Wano, please, Drizzt Daddy. Perhaps after I talk about Roger's video, which I'm going to get started now. So also, before I go into that, guys, like, I finally got new earbuds. So like, they're not like the shitty ones that are right here. So I can actually listen to things and have enjoy listening to them without my ears getting fucking shit on and raped. So that's happy. All right, gonna set up everything. Boo 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 boo. Let's see. All right, cool. There we go. I'll just get rid of Nami for a bit. Let's see. Capture. I will tune this down. I'll put this in the lower right. Get rid of the logo for now. Let's see. I think that will look good. Alright. So, boy, also I'll minimize this so I can have the chat up at the same time. So, guys, the way I plan on doing this is that during the review, or at least during the live reaction, as I mentioned before, I can't really see if you can see it, but I have a note, I have a pen, so there are going to be times where I'm pausing the video and making commentary, but I'm also going to be writing down the main points of what Roger's trying to say so I can reference it when I'm talking about it later. Because there could be a chance that I may forget what Roger says, and that would be really bad if I'm trying to do the pros and cons of his video. So if I'm not like super entertaining all the time, then you know why. But obviously I'm going to have a reaction if I hear some dubious things. So, swig of Coke. Alright. Actually, I'm going to do a test of the volume.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rogers Base here, and before we get started,
right?
I really quickly want to give a shout out to my friends over at War Dragons for sponsoring today's One Piece theory. For those of you guys who haven't already played it, War Dragons is a really cool...
Like, guys, that sound alright, guys? Is the volume okay? Because I don't want to blast your ears off. Because I'm kind of be focused on doing this. Yo, good evening, Tyler. Drizzt, daddy. Post-active smoker spent more time on his hair than his training. Ooh, ouch. Ouch. It's fine? Alright, cool. Yeah, what, free ad for War Dragon? Well, I'm just going to watch it because I don't want to skip to a point where maybe I miss something that Roger says, so we're just going to deal with it. So that's what we're going to do for now. Yeah. I can take time to respond to stuff while he's doing it, though. Sounds good? Alright, awesome. Yo, what's up, Pixel?
3D mobile real-time strategy game that puts you in control of an army of dragons
those classic
as you quest to take over the world. There are over 150 dragons for you to breed and train,
I remember
and
when
each
everyone
one
was
has
doing
their
the
unique
amino app.
attacks and spells. My personal favorite is Zin, who I actually liked so much while I was playing through the game that he's already been leveled up to the max. Once you reach level 5, you can join forces with friends to take on other guilds in real-time PvP multiplayer, and I actually put together an in-game Mammoth Boys guild specifically for my YouTube subscribers.
There it is,
so if you already have the game, make sure to join up with me, and if you aren't already playing War Dragons,
Am I right?
this
If
should
this
give
was
you the perfect reason
that'll
to
be what
start.
people were saying.
The game even has a real-time chat feature, so we can all talk about One Piece theories while we're ravaging all the other realms. Also, for those of you who are already familiar with the game, War Dragons just launched a new Atlas expansion, which turns the world into a open 3D sandbox realm with even more powerful dragons and defense mechanisms for you to uncover. Thanks again to the War Dragons team for being my sponsor boys this week, and if any of you download the game, please make sure to join the Mammoth Boys Guild, because right now I need all the help that I can get. I've genuinely been having a blast playing through it, and it's free to start, so try it out for yourself. Without any further ado, on to today's theory discussion on the elusive Monkey D. Dragon.
Monkey D. Dragon.
Now, while I will be talking a little bit in this video about Dragon's potential powers, as well as the potential role that Monkey D. Dragon will play in storylines to come, I really want to focus this video on Monkey D. Dragon's past, because that's something that we don't really know much about. In fact, we know nothing about Dragon's past. Really, what do we know about Dragon's past? Alright, I guess we know a few things. One, we know he was born Monkey D. Dragon, so he has the will of D. We know he was born the son of Garp, Monkey D. Garp, who is a hero of the Marines. And then, what else do we know? We know that he eventually went on to become the head of the Revolutionary Army and the most wanted man in the world. Now, how are you born the son of a Marine hero, and then you go on to be the world's most wanted criminal? Something doesn't add up there, and that's really what I want to break down for you all in today's video. Now, in order to do that, I first want to take a look at the scenes in which Dragon was present prior to the storyline beginning. And those are only 2 scenes. One scene is at Gold Roger's execution. He has the hood, and he does not have the signature tattoo. And the only other scene in which we see Dragon, and at this point he does have his tattoo, is 8 years prior to the main storyline beginning, at a meeting of the Council of Kings at Marijoa. One of the members of the Council of Kings brings up a picture of Dragon and says, look, this guy is not really a threat right now, but in about 5 or 6 years, he could potentially become a threat, and we need to do something about it. Beyond those 2 scenes, we did not see any more of Dragon until the storyline actually began. And when I say began, I mean like the beginning of Romance Dawn, in which Luffy is a child. So again, I'm not including any of the stuff with Grey Terminal or anything that happens after Luffy sets out to sea. Though I guess while we're on the topic of Luffy, that is one of the things that we know about Dragon's past, and that's at some point he meets a girl, and that girl gives birth to his son, Monkey D. Luffy, who also carries on the will of D. Alright, that's one of the things we know about Dragon, but we also don't know anything about Luffy's mom, and I'm really not going to get into that bit of his past here. I'm mainly going to be focusing on his motivations for becoming the leader of the Revolutionary Army and why he left Monkey D. Garden.
So just from that alone, you can tell that he said that he's not going to be talking about Luffy's mom, so inherently, all of this video, because like there are many theories that suggest that the reason why he did this was for Luffy's mom and stuff like that. So this must be a new deviation from that idea. So I'm going to put that down real quick, not covering Luffy's mom. Going to see how he tries to explain this. Would be very interesting to see what his take is.
But there is one other thing I want to address near the beginning of this video, and this is the most popular theory that I've seen in regards to Dragon's past. This is a theory that I've seen reposted on multiple occasions. It is permeated throughout the entire One Piece community. I've seen it posted on forums, on Reddit, on Amino. I've seen it posted on literally everything, and I've even seen YouTube videos rip the exact text of this theory off of websites and then make videos on it. And this theory is that Monkey D. Dragon was at once an admiral within the Marines, eventually found out the evils that the world government was doing, and defected and became the leader of the Revolutionary Army. I'm here to 100% debunk this theory for two reasons. Now, first
off, I'm just going to take a note that that is his goal. So, goal. Debunk meta theory concerning Dragon being an admiral. Alright. So far, so good. Let's see. The video is like, how I can't see because my thing's in the way, but it's like 4 minutes in, it looks like. And he basically hasn't really covered anything. So, we'll see what's going to happen with that. Alright, let's go.
If you remember one of the two scenes that we already know about in regards to Dragon in the storyline, it's that scene where the Council of Kings brings him up 8 years ago and mentions that he may become a threat in the future, but he's not a threat now. Now, at this point, he had his signature tattoo, and he was not already with the Marines at the point in which he is hooded without his tattoo at that moment within the story. He must have already left the Marines. Now, at that point, I'm imagining that he's around the same...
I'm gonna go back to that.
Threat in the future, but he's not a threat now. Now, at this point, he had his signature tattoo, and he was not already with the Marines at the point in which he is hooded without his tattoo at that moment within the story. He must have already left the Marines. Now, at that point, I'm imagining that he's around the same age as Aokiji, Akainu, and Borsalino, and now all of them are actually Marines, but they all started as Vice Admirals as well. If you remember, back during Robin's flashback, Aokiji was actually a Vice Admiral at the time. So, most likely, at the highest, if Dragon was ever with the Marines, he was probably a Vice Admiral. And
so, there are a few reasons why that doesn't make sense. So, a lot of this presumes that you have to be around a certain age to become that position. But that isn't necessarily so. You know, in One Piece, a lot of them are in like similar ages. But if you do possess that strength, then it doesn't mean that you can't become that position. So I wonder if Roger knows that, or if he's just going along with the age assumption.
Two, if he actually was an admiral that defected from the Marines, he would most certainly be a threat right away and would be something that would have been brought up at that Council of Kings meeting. And there's...
Now, it's true that he would have been a threat right away. That is where Roger is correct. But that might not have been brought up at the Council of Kings. Because if an admiral did defect from the Navy, then that may be something that is covered up. So much like O'Hara, the government is very adept at covering up all forms of evidence. And that is one of the main reasons why people support him being a former admiral, is due to the government's ability to cover up all forms of evidence and erasing the history that went along with those characters. So, just pointing that out right away. Now, it's not necessarily debunking Roger's ideology, because both can certainly be true. But that doesn't fully debunk it, because that doesn't tackle one of the main concepts driving Dragon being an admiral, why people believed it.
There's one other thing that I have to debunk in regards to this theory. And again, I don't know if people are just reposting this theory and not really looking into it, but this is a really big point. One of the main pieces of evidence for Dragon once being an admiral is the idea that within Chinese mythology there are 4 seas, and the 4 symbols of China are represented by 4 animals: a pheasant, a bird, a dog, and a monkey. And then if you think about the names of Akainu, Aokiji, and Kizaru, we know obviously that is yellow monkey, red dog, and blue pheasant. Now, of course, if there was a 4th, maybe he's the bird, maybe he's a dragon. But here's the thing. This is completely false, because the 4 symbols of China are not those animals. Those animals come from a Japanese folktale called Momotaro, in which a character travels with a pheasant, a dog, and a monkey. And that actually has nothing to do with the animals that symbolize the 4 symbols of China. Let me actually give you the names of the animals that are the 4 symbols of China. There are, and I'm repeating this right off of Google search, literally anyone can do a very basic Google search and find this out. The 4 animals that represent the 4 mythological seas in China are the azure dragon of the east, the vermilion bird of the south, the white tiger of the west, and the black turtle of the north. Turtles and tigers really don't sound like dogs and monkeys to me. So, I don't know what's going on there, but somebody probably just wanted to take the Momotaro myth, and at this point in the story, when this theory was originated, we didn't have Momonosuke. We didn't...
So, right away, I find some inconsistencies with this, because, one, Roger also mentioned, like, I think he just messed it up because he's doing this all in one take, but as you guys have said, that pheasant and bird are the same thing. But one of the things, one of the reasons that I have found that people believe that Dragon was an admiral was actually due to a different sort of relationship. You'd have to look it up, but there's some mythological correlation to other beings and then a white dragon, which people assumed would represent Dragon in mythology. Let me look it up real quick. Let me get the Google out. Let me see. I will go to another page. Let's type it in real quick. Chinese white dragon mythology. Okay. I think it might be Chinese. It's either Chinese or Japanese. I forget which exactly it correlates to. Let me do a white search. I may be wrong, though. This is at least just off the top of my head. Maybe not. Alright. Boop. Take a look at this. Maybe not, but I do remember hearing something about that. You have to look into it. Roger may be right. I just gave it about 20 seconds to Google search it. But, I'm just going to continue watching the theory. I'm not necessarily sure how Roger's going to use this to debunk the idea entirely, because that was just one correlation people were using. As I said, his other idea didn't actually fully debunk it. Alright, let's full screen it again.
Didn't have all these ties to Wano country and all the other very clear references to Momotaro, so people just connected the names of the admirals, which is something that Oda has already addressed and said that yes, their names are based on the characters within Momotaro's myth, and just went along with it, despite the fact that it has nothing to do with the Chinese mythology that it's referencing for the rest of the theory. Now with all that...
Actually, I'm actually very interested. I'm actually going to Google the theory. Actually, I'm not going to do this because I want my search engine to pop up. Let's see. Let's do a quick search. One Piece Dragon Admiral Theory. And we'll see what Roger is talking about. That's OnePieceGold.com, so that means they stole that. Alright, I'm going to take a look. Quick look. Just going to go back here real quick. Sorry if this takes some time, guys. I'm just trying to be as accurate as I possibly can. Alright, I have to look up something else. Ooh. Let's see. We're done. Let's see. So, I mean, there's kind of some inconsistency right here. So, at least from just Googling it, I typed in the 4 symbols of China. And so, there's inconsistency on both parts because it says the 4 symbols were given human names after Taoism became popular. The azure dragon, the vermilion bird, the white tiger, and the black turtle. So you can see some correlation between azure dragon, bird, a tiger, and then like the turtles just kind of hanging there. But this is specifically referring to the seas, as far as I remember. But this is like directions, so let's see. I'm gonna type in Chinese Dragon Kings because I think that's more or less what he was going for. Alright, yeah. So, I don't know. I find some inconsistencies because I'm going to go back and rewatch what Roger said. And I'm going to try and compare it with what I found. So I'm going to go back like a minute, I think.
Of the animals that are the 4 symbols of China. There are, and I'm repeating this right off of Google search, literally anyone can do a very basic Google search and find this out. The 4 animals that represent the 4 mythological seas in China are the azure dragon of the east, the vermilion bird of the south, the white tiger of the west, and the black turtle of the north. Turtles and tigers really don't sound like dogs and monkeys to me. So I don't know what's going on there.
So there's kind of a dissonance because, like, there are also multiple mythologies within China. So just checking this out real quick. Because there are things for seas and then there are things for directions, and they're kind of different, I feel like. Because you have the Dragon Kings and then you have the directions for the seas, which is kind of the same. But I see where Roger's coming from. And I was looking at the theory that I just Googled real quick. And I believe that Roger is specifically talking about this theory right here. I'm going to look through it real quick. I'm going to check other ones as well. Yeah, so I think actually Roger might have a point here as well. So as far as research goes, I think this actually might be good. I think he's actually accurate in terms of what the theorists were posting. So plus point for Roger. So let's continue on.
there, but somebody probably just wanted to take the Momotaro myth, and at this point in the story, when this theory was originated, we didn't have Momonosuke, we didn't have all these ties to Wano country, and all the other very clear references to Momotaro, so people just connected the names of the admirals, which is something that Oda has already addressed and said that yes, their names are based on the characters within Momotaro's myth, and just went along with it, despite the fact that it has nothing to do with the Chinese mythology that it's referencing for the rest of the theory. Now, with all that out of the way, what exactly is Dragon trying to accomplish, and how did he go from being the son of a marine hero to the most wanted criminal in the world? And I think it mostly has something to do with the will of D and the connection that he has to his father. Now, Garp, we already know, tried to make Luffy and Ace into proud Marines. And he really tries to hammer that hard into their heads when they're children. And I think the main reason behind this is due to the fact that he failed in actually making Dragon a Marine. And that somehow Dragon did not go down the path that Garp initially had intended for him. Potentially due to him finding out some secret in regard to the world government. And I really do think it's much more layered than him just finding out the evils of the world government being just something as basic as like the horrible things that the nobles did in East Blue, or like the awful things that the Celestial Dragons did where they would take slaves. I think it's something much deeper than that, and it most likely has ties to the Void Century and the Ancient Kingdom.
So that's actually a very common speculation, and Roger isn't actually very original right here. A lot of people actually believe this as well. They believe that Dragon found out the truth of the world government and not the examples that Roger gave to try and undermine just like the simplicity of why he did it. People often assume or correlate that Dragon found out the truths of the world, and which is why he said in relation to talking about Luffy, question the world, implying that Dragon actually knows truths. So, not essentially original, but he's actually kind of justifying what he's trying to do right here.
As well as the will of D. Now, one of the most famous quotes in One Piece in regards to the will of D is that one day the descendants of D will bring upon a storm. This is something...
Oh, I think I know where this is going. So, based upon what he just said, I'm going to assume that Roger is going to try and debunk him having a devil fruit by suggesting that the will of D the D actually can cause storms. We'll see. If so, that's kind of baseless.
That's brought up by Trafalgar Law during Punk Hazard, it's brought up again during Dressrosa, and it's mentioned on multiple instances throughout the course of the story. But what does this actually mean? I've always taken it as a metaphorical storm, meaning the people who have the will of D will one day take down the world government, the Celestial Dragons, the nobles, the people in charge, and then basically return the world to as it was during the age of the Ancient Kingdom. But what if Oda is actually hinting to something much more literal? What if it's not a metaphorical storm, but that the people who have inherited the will of D will actually bring a storm upon the world government and take down the people in charge using the power of the weather? Now
So I'm gonna not say anything. I want Roger to justify why that would be so. I want him to justify this by using other Ds as an example. If there is not another D as an example, then this is completely irrelevant information, because Dragon is the only person we know to have caused storms. And that isn't necessarily related to the will of D. Unless he can find a correlation to other Ds, this doesn't make sense. So we'll continue.
There have been multiple characters who've been shown to manipulate the weather. We've got Nami with her climate tax, we've got all the scientists in Witheria, and then of course we have Big Mom injecting her soul into clouds and fire to create thunderstorms. But there's only one character in the story who is always preceded by a literal storm, and that of course is Monkey D. Dragon.
So, just like real quick, that was basically useless information he said, because all those other people, they were not Ds. Those were people that had abilities not related to the lineage of D that caused storms. But he's trying to single out Dragon. So let's see where he's going with this.
Dragon. So I'm wondering, is that storm coming from his powers, or is the storm being created just due to his presence alone? And I think it could honestly go either way, though I think it's...
Why? Why can it go either way? I want to know why. Because the entire basis of the idea is Roger interpreting a sentence to be the literal definition of that sentence. That's the only reason how. So, as far as the idea goes, It's just that. It's an idea, as opposed to a hypothesis, which is supported by, more than just one section of evidence. So he didn't bring up anything else about other Ds within the story. He didn't talk about Roger. He didn't talk about Trafalgar Law. All of these other Ds have not yet shown capabilities of causing actual storms. I want to see him justify that.
It's much more likely that it has something to do with his devil fruit powers. But then again, where did he get that devil fruit?
Wait.
Honestly, go either way. Though I think it's much more likely that it has something to do with his devil fruit powers.
Okay, so this is a good idea. As I said, it's an idea. Not much supports it, but Roger right here is basically acknowledging that this idea is so unlikely, because he just said that it's more than likely his devil fruit power. So this begs the question, why would you bring this up if you did not actually believe it? It's a good option, but he didn't really have any supporting evidence to it, which is something that is confusing, because it kind of feels like he just contradicted himself in his belief. We'll see. We'll see where he goes with this.
But then again, where did he get that devil fruit from? And I think that's one of the reasons why he is the most dangerous criminal in the world. I think his devil fruit power is actually the first ever devil fruit power.
So, this is a very bold claim. So I'm going to write this down real quick. Claim Dragon's fruit is the first ever. So what I want to see, it's a bold claim. I want to see his logic behind why that is true. Logic supporting evidence. That's what I want to see. I want to see actual evidence within the manga. I want to see how he came to this idea. What led him to this point? So we're going to keep going.
Initial devil fruit that was created in the ancient kingdom. Now, I think at some point the world government was in possession of this devil fruit, but that dragon actually stole the devil fruit from them after finding out the truth about the...
So, after Dragon found out the truth of the world government, his first thing he did was steal the first ever devil fruit from the world government. So, a pattern I'm noticing within this theory is that a lot of it is not supported by in-text evidence. A lot of this is just ideas. So these are cool fan fiction ideas, but not necessarily something that you would put into like an established, like, highly supported theory. So this is more or less him just creating ideas for it. So I want to see if he has any justification for this.
The Void Century, the Ancient Kingdom, and the Will of D. Basically, the will that he inherited from his ancestors. And thus, knowing that he couldn't do it alone, he went on to create the Revolutionary Army and to amass people who had the same... Dragon actually stole the... I think his devil fruit power is actually the first ever devil fruit power, the initial devil fruit that was created in the Ancient Kingdom. Now, I think at some point the world government was in possession of this devil fruit, but that dragon actually stole the devil fruit from them after finding out the truth about the Void Century, the Ancient Kingdom, and the Will of D. Basically, the will that he inherited from his ancestors. And thus, knowing that he couldn't do it alone, he went on to create the Revolutionary Army and to amass people who had the same goal in mind, to take down the world government once and for all, and to officially reveal what happened all those years ago. But Roger, you're probably asking, how in the world would Dragon know all this stuff if he can't read the poneglyphs? Somebody would have had to tell him all of this. And that brings it back to his father, Monkey D.
So that's not the only thing that you need to explain.
Garp. Now, we know a few things about Garp. We know that Garp, despite being this legendary hero of the Marine...
So, one thing you have to explain is, what would be Dragon's incentive for even stealing this fruit in the first place? Why was that his first incentive, after finding out the truth of the world government, was to steal a devil fruit? Because things you have to take into account is why people did something. What is the motivation? What's the incentive for him doing that? Finding out the truth of the world government doesn't necessarily correlate to, hey, I'm going to steal a devil fruit. We'll see what I have to say.
Has always managed to stay a father, Monkey D. Garp. Now, we know a few things about Garp. We know that Garp, despite being this legendary hero of the Marines, has always managed to stay a vice admiral. He's been offered the position of admiral multiple times, but he's never wanted all the attention. And yet, he is the grandfather of the person who is the protagonist of the story, who is very much against the world government, and the father of the most dangerous criminal in the world. And if there are a few people in the world who know the truth about the Void Century, about the Will of D, one of those people is most likely Monkey D. Garp. Now, who did he find this out from? Most likely his rival, Gol D. Roger, prior to Roger's death, maybe around the same time when Roger asked Garp to look after his unborn son, Portgas D. Ace. And my theory is that Dragon found out this information not long after, either overhearing it during the conversation that Roger had with Garp, or maybe Garp confided in Dragon all of this information, thinking he could create a new, proud, and just type of Marine that goes alongside the morals of the people of the Ancient Kingdom, and knowing that he could not create an immediate change within the world government, decided to stick with them. But Dragon, disgusted by the fact that his father remained a government dog, actually stole the original devil fruit, and knowing the original goals of the people of the Ancient Kingdom, went on to amass a revolutionary army to finally take down the world government once and for all, and fulfill the goal of the people of the Will of D. And I think that's another reason why Dragon is the most wanted criminal in the world. Not just due to his...
So, I find this explanation lackluster, because a lot of it relies on, let's say you're at point A and you're trying to get to point C. You have to to get to point C, you have to go point A, point B, point C in a linear fashion. Roger is just assuming something to be true and then creating speculation off of that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but he doesn't justify it or tackle other meta theories concerning how Dragon could have gotten his fruit. And I saw someone in chat brought up a good idea, is that Roger should have tackled this, is that the world government voluntarily gives out devil fruits to amass power. And you could absolutely argue that Dragon got a devil fruit voluntarily from the world government. And one of the things that could support that is the fact that it was a Logia. And before that point in time, all of the other admirals had Logia powers. So you have things of that nature. Roger didn't really discuss, at least thus far, other ideas that can be debunked. He didn't tackle those other ideas, which is what he did in the beginning of the theory, but he kind of deviated from that the more he went on. And I don't necessarily agree with what he's saying with Garp. It certainly is a possibility, but once again, we're trying to get to point C, and he's just creating and assuming this narrative to be true, that Garp, basically told Dragon everything and thought that would make him a good Marine. Which in and of itself is a kind of crazy idea, because if you were any logical person, you would assume the opposite to be true. And what would be one of the reasons that, Dragon would be told this information? Just because he is Garp's son? Iffy. But let's continue.
His power, not just due to the fact that he's the head of the Revolutionary Army, but that he actually knows the truth about the world, and he's one of the few people who knows the truth that is actively doing something about it. And this also gives great motivation for Garp, and gives...
So, another thing is that I just remembered that Roger brought up the idea that Garp got the knowledge of doing this from Roger. and that Roger told a Marine the truth of the world, and the Marine basically carried that information down to just Dragon. And after that, what would be the incentive for Garp to stop? You know, it's very odd. Very odd indeed. It's not your prototypical standard method of explaining why something would happen.
Gives us a better understanding as to why he wanted Luffy and Ace to become Marines, because he failed to turn Dragon into the just type of Marine that he believed could actually make a change in the world, instead of actually making a drastic change like what the Revolutionary Army is looking to do. So where does that leave Dragon right now? Well, I actually talked about this a little bit in the video that I did back in July for my One Piece 20 for 20 series, and I stand by what I said in that video. I think the next time that we're going to see Dragon and the Revolutionaries is going to be during the upcoming Reverie arc. I think that Dragon knows that Shirahoshi is Poseidon, one of the ancient weapons, and wants to use the ancient weapons against the world government. Nico Robin and Caribou, two of the only people who know this truth about Shirahoshi, both have connections to the Revolutionaries, and I think that Dragon knows he does not want Poseidon, Shirahoshi, to fall into the hands of the world government, and thus one of the ancient weapons is going to be during the upcoming Reverie arc. I think that
So this in of itself, this is not even an original idea because everyone thinks this is true. This isn't Roger's idea right here.
Dragon knows that Shirahoshi is Poseidon, one of the ancient weapons, and wants to use the ancient weapons against the world government. Nico Robin and Caribou, two of the only people who know this truth about Shirahoshi, both have connections to the Revolutionaries, and I think that...
So here's the thing. Robin found out about Shirahoshi in Sky... about Poseidon as a weapon in Skypiea. But she didn't know it was Shirahoshi until she reached Fishman Island, which was after the time skip, and after she found the poneglyph addressed to Joy Boy. And she didn't even get clarification of that until she talked to Neptune. So, what Roger is saying here doesn't really necessarily connect to Shirahoshi. And what he should take into account is that Caribou, from the cover story, was captured by X-Drake, which has connections to Kaido. I don't necessarily remember him having connections to the Revolutionaries. Let's see, what happened from this cover story is, so basically, Gambia's grandma, some fights there, was defeated by X-Drake, and was taken away. None of this directly relates, unless I'm forgetting something, to Dragon. Because you have a disconnect in time related to what Poseidon is with Robin, pre-time skip and post-time skip. And there's no indication that Robin has actually informed Dragon of what Poseidon actually is. Caribou was mistaken for a revolutionary and even fought for them briefly. Alright, cool. Alright. Thank you, Maxley.
Dragon knows he does not want Poseidon, Shirahoshi, to fall into the hands of the world government, and thus is actually amassing his army not to go up against Blackbeard, which is how it was telegraphed by the newspaper, saying that, oh yeah, Blackbeard ruined Baltigo. I think Blackbeard only showed up on Baltigo because Burgess was there, and Burgess was like, oh my god, Dragon's here, let's do something about it. I think the army that he was amassing and the fight that he was talking about was not just the final war of the story, but was actually a war that will go down at Reverie, where I think Dragon is going to try to take possession of Shirahoshi to keep her from the world government. So that's when I think we're going to see Dragon next. I think we're going to see him again during the Reverie arc, and we're going to see Dragon, Sabo.
So this is all just standard speculation, except for the fact that Dragon is going to try and kidnap Shirahoshi as opposed to Kaido. So what I want Roger has failed to neglect here is the fact that Kaido also knows. And then if Kaido knows, then there will be an incentive for Kaido as well to show up, which maybe he will address right now.
Koala, Ivankov, and all the revolutionaries trying to take on the world government at their home base. And considering the importance of the Reverie arc, it also seems highly likely that Monkey D. Garp, Monkey D. Dragon's father, will also be in attendance. If all the other high-ranking Marine officers are going to be there, we've got, Fujitora saying he's going to make an appeal to the admirals and the fleet admiral and the rest of the world government to abolish the Shichibukai system after what happened in Dressrosa. I have a feeling Garp will probably be there as well. And in addition to Garp, I would also really like to see Dragon interact with Luffy.
Okay. Why is this? I'm not sure why this is in the theory. This is supposed to be a Dragon theory, not a Reverie theory. So he's bringing up all these other characters who are supposed to be there, but he's not necessarily relating them back to Dragon. Let's see.
Friends that he's made along the way. But mainly, I want to see Dragon and Garp finally have their face-to-face interaction at Reverie.
Okay,
and
so
I think
the theory is deviating from actually discussing stuff to just what he wants. And that is not a good method whenever you are making theories. Because this is essentially fan fiction.
it's actually highly likely, and we may find out sooner rather than later whether or not some of the theories that I brought up in this video are true. So with all that being said, what are your thoughts on my theories for Dragon's past? Please let me know down in the comments below, and also share your own theories in regards to Dragon's backstory. I feel like this is a completely open-ended discussion. There's a lot of different ways this story could go. I'm really excited to finally see Dragon and Garp interact, hopefully at the Reverie. Please at the Reverie. And also, if you liked anything I had to say, please leave a like on this video and make sure to subscribe, because I bring you guys reviews about the anime and the manga every single week. And finally, big thank you to my friends over at War Dragons.
Alright, so that's basically the end of the video. Alright. So, let's cover, like, I didn't write as much as I wanted to because it actually takes a lot of time. But, you know, I'm just going to cover, essentially, the good things that Roger did in the video and then the bad things that Roger did in the video. So, from a theory perspective, one of the good things that he did is that he debunked a previous theory to try and support his own theory. And what he debunked was the previous, you know, misinterpretation of Chinese mythology in terms of Dragon being an admiral. But things he didn't take into consideration were other meta-theories about Dragon. He didn't really debunk those. He just kind of superimposed his own idea on top of that. Which isn't necessarily the right way to do it, but the least he could have done is address why. You know. Other good things he does is that, you know, parts of it, you know, it's not as if it's unbelievable, because it could be true, but a lot of it wasn't really supported by evidence. Much of it was created from Roger creating a narrative. Something I wish he would have done in the theory is that he would have continued his formula from the beginning of the video by debunking things and then supporting it with evidence. Because you see at the beginning of the video, he supported his debunking of the Chinese mythology with, like, an actual on-screen text. And he did not do that for any other part of the theory. So, you know, and this is one of the downfalls. This isn't necessarily Roger's fault, but, you know, Roger should be accountable for just, you know, lack of editing, at least for visual perspectives, because, you know, a lot of Roger's videos are just him doing it, and then he just uploads it right away. So what he could have done is that, at least to provide visual representation, and instead of just doing, like, you know, a face him talking to the people, he could have shown panel detail to try and support what he was saying. Other aspects. He explained earlier in the video that one of the things he wasn't going to do is he was going to explain what happened with Dragon in the past, but he was not going to cover Luffy's mom. And he didn't give a reason why he was not going to cover Luffy's mom, because that in of itself is another meta-theory. So, it's really weird because he tackled only one meta-theory within the video, and that was at the beginning with the mythology. But he failed to tackle other ideas. So, it's kind of odd, because if you were going to make a theory, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but, you know, you try at least to take into account some of the bigger theories explain this. And he basically said in the video that he was just he's only going to cover one and just ignore the rest. Which I wish he would have delved into more, because I want to see his reasoning for why some things are so. And so, where the video kind of deviated with really only one supporting evidence is whenever Roger brought up the will of D actually causing a storm, and that dragon's fruit is the first ever devil fruit. Now, Roger in the will of D basically used one sentence to imply, and he also gave an explanation that the common explanation is that the will of D causing a storm is a metaphorical sentence for bringing down the world government. But he said, well, what if it was real? And the thing about that is that he didn't give other examples of how other things could be interpreted as causing a storm. He only covered dragon, which means that if you only have evidence for one D, then that means that there are most likely other explanations that are better than saying the will of D actually causes a storm. And it's weird because he kind of used other people that weren't Ds to bring up instances of causing storms, like Nami, who maybe she could be a D, but as far as we know she isn't. Big Mom, who we know is not a D. And all of those storms are caused by things not related to the will of D. One being the common explanation, devil fruits can cause storms. And the one is just like technology. But he didn't really cover that. He didn't explain why. So he didn't go in depth supporting that idea. Why the will of D can cause storms. There's this kind of, I'm going to say it so you should accept it kind of thing. Now, as far as his claim for Dragon having the first devil fruit ever, I don't know why he said this, because he didn't really support it to be true. He said, as an incentive, he basically said that after he found out the truth of the world government, he basically stole the world's first devil fruit ever. Which, once again, there's not a lot to support it. So it's not a bad idea, necessarily, but, it's just not supported. So Roger has good ideas here, but they're not necessarily, strongly supported ones, which is fine. That's basically how Roger does most of his theory videos and videos in general. But that's something I would have liked to have seen explained. Now, everything else, since Roger is basically building a narrative off of the will of D and off of Dragon's Fruit, that basically makes the rest of the theory video the exact same way. So, based off of the narrative he created from Dragon's Fruit, and the reason why he did that is, that's the basis for the rest of his theory. So, if you don't support this part of the theory, then you can't really support any other part of the theory because you're just proposing plot lines. And the only incentive you have for that is that Garp told him the truth. So, it's fine, I suppose. But, I don't know. Because there are other ways Roger could have explained Garp knowing about the true history. There are other ways he could have explained it. But he basically proposed that Roger told him, which there was literally no evidence to support. If he at least wanted to support some of it, he could have at least said that, Roger was willing to give information to Whitebeard, so maybe that would create a scenario where he would be willing to give information to other people. But he didn't mention that, so there's no basis for that. There's no other example that he used. So that's something he could have added in there. Overall, though, it was okay. It wasn't bad, obviously. I've read way worse theories than what Roger has done here. I would say it was an average theory. Had some good ideas, but lacked logic backing those ideas supported by the manga. Or at least SBS's. And one of the things I really would have wished he would have covered... Oh, another thing, right before that. One of the biggest things I'm going to critique Roger in this video is that he proposed the will of D causing the storms, and then right after that he said, yeah, that's probably not true. That should never have been a part of the video if Roger didn't believe it to be a possibility. Very curious why he did that. So I'm assuming that why he did that has a lot to do with the fact that that Roger constructs theories different from what you would actually do for theories. You know, it's very difficult to be in front of a camera like Roger is and explain the entire basis of a theory in fluid motion. And I'm assuming that, you know, he probably had some bullet points to explain everything, because I do believe Roger does do that. But, so they aren't necessarily in depth. But that would probably be my biggest criticism of Roger, is that he brought up points and then basically, didn't support them. So it was basically white space. Now, as far as what his ideas for Dragon War in the future, the only new part of it was that he thought that they would capture Shirahoshi, but he forgot to mention other incentives for other people capturing Shirahoshi, like Kaido, which is like the main meta theory. So he didn't tackle that either. So you have a kind of lack of justification and a lack of supporting evidence. Another thing I wish Roger would have done is that, you know, a lot of theories become more convincing if you show textual evidence. And, you know, all Roger would have to do is edit the video and then show clippings of, you know, the cover story with, what's his fucking name? Swamp guy, I forget. Caribou. Because that would make people remember the cover story. Yo, thanks for subscribing, random dude 18212. So there are some things I criticize, but going on to more things that Roger did good. You know, it's inherently a good thing to bring up ideas that people haven't considered. And so, a lot of these ideas other people haven't considered. The Will of Deed literally causing a storm, Dragon eating the first Devil Fruit ever. They are good ideas to get out there, just in case they are right. So Roger has the right mindset of getting new ideas out there that aren't just meta theories. So I do like that about the theory video. It's just that, you know, the way I am used to dissecting theories is that, you know, there has to be a bit more substance to them. So, overall, that was it was good. If I were to rate it, probably like a 7 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10. So it was solid. But yeah, you know, also, guys, I know a lot of people are going to be upset about, you know, a lot of this is mostly criticism of his theory. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that. But just like you guys, I am a fan of Roger's base. I can do this to basically any theory and find flaws in why people are doing so. Because it's really easy to find flaws in anything. That's like the easiest part of criticism, is finding things to, you know, point out and nitpick. That's kind of the idea of constructive criticism. Now, as far as the idea itself, I said that, you know, part of it was unsupported, but it was a good idea. So it's not like I'm bashing the entire thing for just, you know, it's trash idea, shit, throw it out, never should have made the video. They are good ideas, but they would have been much better had Roger expanded upon them. But, you know, we can't get everything that we want. So, you know, Roger did a fairly good job. This is similar to the trends that, you know, Roger has done in the past for theory videos, where he basically, at least as far as I can tell, and I've watched Roger for a while, is that a lot of his theory videos just, you know, they're not necessarily backed a lot. Roger doesn't spend a whole lot of time arguing why something should be. He just says, well, it should be. And that's it. That's like the end of the story. And you have to take that into consideration when you're watching Roger, because a lot of this theory, it was for fun, right? So, that's all I have to say for now. Alright. And before I get flack for this, or like, Roger finally finds out who I am, he just comes to my house and like puts down his pants and shits on my face. Alright, boys. Let's see what memes are arising in the chat. Alright. Oh, you guys are doing the D's everything? I see. Hey, Drizzt, if I make a theory on OJ, will you not pick it? Yeah, I won't pick it. Drizzt so disappointed in his fans right now? No. I've really only had good experiences with my fans, with my subs. I haven't reached the point where, you know, most people just like don't like my videos, or like there's a lot of criticism because I'm doing things wrong. Overwhelmingly, I've had good feedback, so like there's really no reason for me to like you know, lash out on my subs for just agreeing or something. People can do that. Sorry, I mean, nitpick. If I make a theory, will you destroy it? You know, I mean, it depends, because I was critically looking at Roger's, whereas, you know, I kind of had to, simply due to the nature that Roger had. Because, like, you know, the way Roger does videos is a lot different than the way people write theories. Because writing theories is kind of based upon, you know, supporting evidence. So, I mean, if it's just trash, then of course I'm going to, you know, I'm going to destroy it and then say it's bad. But I try to not do that, because there are at least values in every theory. And the value is that is in the possibility and not necessarily it being 100% true. Which is the important part of Roger's video that people should take, is that it's a theory. So, by theory standards, it is possible, but it could have been more possible had he gone through more effort to, you know, rationalize it. I can fix that for you, Drizzt, you're gay. What do you think about Alpha Too Late? People hype his theories, but they're straight up fan fiction most of the time. So, I do not know Alpha personally, and whenever I first got into the One Piece theory community, he was one of the first people I found. Because, you know, I didn't really know about forum theories at the time. I just YouTube stuff and then watched it. But the more that I have become invested in the One Piece community, the more that I have found out, Alpha is kind of notorious for being a scumbag, if I could say so, when it comes to theories. There have been lots of times where, you know, you can talk about other people's ideas, but at least if you're going to talk about someone else's ideas, give them credit instead of just, you know, assuming it or making it to be your own. Because this is something that Joy Boy does right that no one else does. Whenever Joy Boy talks about an already established idea, he mentions that it's an already established idea. And then he expands upon it, so he adds something onto it. That's what you should do. And a lot of things that Alpha is criticized for is the fact that he took ideas basically word for word and then claimed originality. And then got pissed off when people found out about it. So, you know, as far as credibility goes, Alpha Too Late, since he deleted his old channel by purposely uploading porn to get itself banned, you know, a lot of things have gone downhill in terms of his credibility. But a lot of the general public don't know that. And I didn't know it at first until I got to talking to other people who were there at the time. So you can have this narrative that a lot of people have forgotten. It's kind of been underground. Let's see. Let's see if I can get the... Boom. Okay. No. Oh, yeah. Boop, boop. Ooh, okay. Video capture, there we go. Son of a bitch, why is this thing not working with me? God damn it. Whatever, dude. I'm not gonna fuck. Actually, I'm going to fuck with it. Edit, transform. Beep. Son of a bitch. Whatever, I'm just gonna close the border. Fuck that shit. I'm done with it. Alright, let's see. Why do you think there are so many theories when it comes to One Piece, especially when compared to other series? Because One Piece focuses more on world building than it does on characters. So a lot of the reasons why people have theories is because the world is so complex and so mysterious, and so it generates more ideas to explain why things are so. One Piece is a series based primarily on the mystery of the lore surrounding the world. So, inherently. Yeah, I remember that game, yeah. I remember that. Check your Twitter, watch 30 seconds, and then if you like it, do a live reaction. Alright. Let me see. I might not do it for this stream. Maybe I'll do it for another one, though. Because I do want to get to the predictions. Reading the predictions. And that's going to take a while, I imagine. Let's see. Oda's early concept on Nami shows her having a mechanical arm. Do you think something will happen to Nami's arm? Not necessarily. It certainly could, but I don't think Oda would be that drastic in hurting Nami as a character now. Because if you look at the other, like, concept arts for Nami, they're basically the exact same as they are now. So it's basically Oda transforming his character concepts. But I can see the concern from there. But, like, Nami kind of changed in character from, like, previous concepts to, like, what she is now. So let's see. Just, I think Joba made a video where he said Caribou was mistaken for a revolutionary in a controversy. So Roger may be talking about that. Yeah, I think so. Like, I didn't remember at the time, so like I mentioned that someone explained it to me, so I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, right? God damn it, Chicho, let's get my comments. Oh, let me go back. I don't mean to. Yo, guys, listen to my theory. Luffy beats Blackbeard and becomes Pirate King. Yo, that's a pretty good theory. Oh, Drizzt, where did you get that new subscriber gift? Help a brother out. Heart of Gold. I think. The intro for Heart of Gold, I think. It's basically a volleyball scene. If you just type in One Piece volleyball into YouTube, it'll be the first thing that pops up. Bro, are you on Team Dofi? I mean, Dofi's an alright character. I wouldn't say I'm crazy for Dofi. Why do you think Luffy didn't realize Katakuri was simply dodging his attacks? I mean, he should have noticed that he's not hitting him at all, right? Well, I mean, it comes back to Luffy being inexperienced in terms of people who are basically above him in hockey level. I mean, if you were a regular person, you would just assume it to be another way. Like, you know, why is this so? It's just part of the learning experience. I mean, he did find out eventually. It's not something that you're going to pick up right away at first seeing it. I hope Nami turns Killua and Hunter x Hunter with a lightning ore around her. Yeah, that'd be dope. Dude, I'm sick of these Katakuri weeaboos. Dofi's the pinnacle of strength next to Big Mom. We haven't seen Katakuri do anything yet. We've seen a million crazy things. Oh, gosh. Let's see, Maxley. Oda gave each straw a nationality, and most of them are connected to their country in a way, except Nami. With Nami being Swedish, do you think she will have connections to Elbaf? I mean, it could. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people have argued that before, Max, is that, you know, due to nationalities, that there will be a connection there, but it's not necessarily reliant on that, because, you know, people are going to assume that Usopp is going to have his arc in Elbaf, but Usopp is from Africa. Those don't necessarily connect to each other. So sometimes it can be coincidence and sometimes not. Hey, Drizzt, what do you think of this headcanon of mine? Gambia's grandma was Roger's navigator. I don't think so. But I can understand the concept because she just says, you know, blah, blah. You know, do this. And she gives crazy advice, which doesn't work at all. Duffy put up a great fight, and I think it'll be close. Still, Katakuri wins in the end. Katakuri for sure, 100% wins against Dofi, no doubt. No doubt. Let's see. We talked about Roger being present at Raftel in some way. So how about How about he recorded his story in one of the dials, projector or recording dial, maybe? Oh yeah. So this is part of the idea is that whenever Luffy gets to Raftel, there's going to be some hologram vision of Roger talking to like the successor. Right. It would be cool, but It'd be kind of a cliche. How is Luffy related to Brazil and Brook from Austria? I don't know about Austria, but, you know. I don't know. Oda's decided, bro. You can rationalize it however you want. Alright, Gambia. You need to calm down. Tobias, my boy, says, since Sweden doesn't exist within the One Piece world, I doubt Nami would have an actual connection to Elbaf solely for a far-fetched background inspiration connection. I agree with Tobias. If there's going to be a background connection, I actually subscribe to the idea that, you know, Nami has connections to Emerald City. Katakuri feeds, throws a jelly bean, and wears a scarf. You sound Lan, you sound, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, but you sound exactly like some of the people's comments that I read on Oro Jackson. It's like meant to trigger people. What role do you think the next Straw Hat will have? Role as in role on the ship, or role within the story? Like, how do they help Luffy become the Pirate King? I guess I'll answer both. So I'm not going to count Jinbei. Role on the ship for the next Straw Hat? Oh, gosh. Well, you have the standard Lookout being left as a position. But then again, the last chapter we saw Brook and Chopper doing that, and we've seen Zoro do it in the past, we've seen Pedro doing it in the past. So there's really no hard evidence for just one person we've already seen doing it, because others have done it in the past. But I would say the most evident one would be Lookout. You know, there's also Swabbies, things of that nature that could be filled. But role within the story, it has to be somehow connected to the path to becoming the Pirate King. So if you're going to justify, I don't know, it's hard to say. Because, you know, one of the reasons why I think, you know, he's not going to be a Straw Hat, but he's going to be aboard the ship, he's going to be a de facto Straw Hat, you know, Momonosuke, is that he has the potential to help Luffy, basically, on the way to Raftel, within the voice of all things, and being an ancient weapon. So that inherently, you know, makes, you know, Luffy's dream that much easier. So if you're going to go into, like, what they have to do, Poneglyphs are basically already taken. Voice of all things, that's something expanded upon. You know, we have hockey uses and stuff like that. It would have to be something, I feel like if you looked really into it and you looked into the narrative, you might be able to find something. I'm against Dragon being Marine. If he is, the Marines would have known about his origins, and he'll be on the spotlight to the eyes of higher-ups to be a potential admiral because of his power/strength. Well, I mean, if you're going to talk about his origins, you know, Dragon was born in, you know, like Hightown or whatever, you know, Goa. That's necessarily a controversial origin unless there was more behind that. Which that's actually something that Roger didn't do in his theory. He didn't address that, where Dragon was born, how that could connect to his potential motivations about learning the truth of the world. Because if you're going to justify Dragon being, you know, aware of corruption, then him being born in Goa is a really, really good way to explain that. Now, as far as... Fuck! Okay, there it is. As far as the Marines would have known about his origins, and he'll be on spotlight in the eyes of the higher-ups, we have this thing where a lot of people justify it, and you have a point, is that, you know, the Marines would be on the know-how. But, you know, there could have been cases where all information about him was basically deleted. It wouldn't be the first time this happened. Alright, Phoenix. Let's see. Trevor says, I saw Braga stream with you destroying Ty. Fucking hilarious. Please collab with him and destroy his feelings regularly, please. And Ty... Wait. Trust me, Braga. Braga. Yeah, I like Ty, but, you know, we have different ways of looking at the story, and that plainly shows because, you know, it's hard for me to take what he says at face value because I demand more, so... But it was a good stream. You know, the first 40 minutes is basically me going in. Let's see, Maxie, do you think editors hyping up Wano during Whole Cake Island arc ruined a lot of fans' enjoyment of the current arc? and honestly made me impatient for Wano. Yeah, that's a fact, and it's not even disputable. That's why a lot of people have been so antsy, is that they want to get to Reverie, they want to get to Wano, because we know for a fact that Wano is going to be an intense fighting arc, which you can't really say about Whole Cake Island. The whole point of Whole Cake Island isn't to defeat the main antagonist, Big Mom. It's basically a rescue mission. So, you have that. So, by nature, the arcs are different. And there's also a lot more ramifications to Wano than there is to Whole Cake Island. Even though Whole Cake Island is turning out to have big ramifications to the world. But yeah, the editors kind of fucked everything up. Let's see. Cheers, I have a Coke too. Yeah, boy. How much longer do I think this arc will go for? I think this arc's going to last a while. As far as I know, now this is information I've learned from Scotch Informer, from Oro Jackson, and you can also follow him on Twitter. But there are going to be three more issues before the 2017 issues stop printing, and then the 2018 issues start printing in December. So obviously there's going to be a break after this chapter. I'm pretty sure it's actually confirmed, because the week after, so the chapter coming up is issue 50, and after the break, it's going to be issue 52, and we have an early chapter spoilers for that week already confirmed. So there's going to be 3 chapters in November, essentially. Well, if you count that, it's 3, 4, whatever. And I imagine there's going to probably be... There might be 4 in a row for December. It depends on what Oda wants to do and what he wants to accomplish. But so that leaves you with roughly... So you have 3 chapters for the rest of the November, and you have potentially 4 chapters next month before the end of the year. So that gives 7 chapters for Oda to get stuff done. And realistically, it doesn't seem like enough time. It doesn't seem like enough time to accomplish what we need to do. The Luffy versus Katakuri fight is surely going to last more than 1 chapter from now. Probably 2 or 3 more. It's a long fight. I could see it ending mid-January, or at the end of January. But it depends on how fast Oda wants to do. An easy way to end the arc early would be to basically just not give Sanji a fight. At least an in-depth one-on-one. It could be like an overwhelming, clashes over instantly, Sanji wins, boom. But, I'm not sure if Oda's going to do that. I feel like people would be pissed off. Let's see. Oh, crap, there's a lot of stuff. Let's see. We still got the answer where Jinbei and Carrot are from. Jinbei, Japan, Korea, Hawaii, Polynesia, Philippines, Carrot, Easter Islands. Potentially. But Carrot's origins don't necessarily matter if she's not going to be a Straw Hat. Shanks' sword is called Griffin. Is the figurehead on Shanks' ship a griffin? Is it not a dragon? I'm pretty sure it's a dragon, is it not? Maybe. I don't know. Off of memory, I think it's a dragon. Drizzt, have you seen the anime scene with Whitebeard and Shanks' rookie crew member? It showed Luffy and God Usopp and Whitebeard's crew. I don't remember that. You have a theory, Elder? Let me know. I'll tear it apart. Just, I need you to tell these streamers why Dofi's the most hardcore pirate in the series, and then try to explain to me where all this Thagakuri hype is magically showing up from. Man, you are just trying to go in, aren't you, Landland? I mean, I can't say I agree with you, because I don't think Dofi's the most hardcore pirate. Let's see, I know what question's coming too often, but here it is. How many years old will Luffy be when he reaches Raft Hill? I do not believe in another big time skip. Personally, I do not believe in one. So, maybe 20. So, Luffy's 19 now, so maybe a year. At the most, and I do not think this is going to happen. 2 more years. I do not think so. It's not going to take a long time. Luffy is going to find the One Piece to become Pirate King way before Roger did it age-wise. Sanji over Kid Cole. Yeah, Cole was fucking lit, dude. I don't know where the hell he got that shit, but that's lit. Yeah, Tai says stuff without logically backing up his headcanon, saying stuff that doesn't answer anything. Well, that's the thing, because I feel like, obviously, guys, I like Tai. I don't want to start shit with Tai because he's a cool guy. But, as far as it concerns debate, he doesn't really do things you normally do in debate, which is support your argument with, like, evidence from the manga. Like, in the last stream with Brago, I prompted Tai over and over and over again to give me specific panel evidence from the manga, but he couldn't do that because he did not remember. But he was saying that it was very clear upon his analysis that what he was saying was true. And what I was arguing is that there's actually no clear evidence, and that it could be either or, it's just his opinion. But he didn't acknowledge that. He thought it was, like, basically obvious between analysis and what he was saying was true, which isn't true. And I was able to remember basically everything from the manga and support it, whereas Tai doesn't remember. And that's one of the things that kind of hurts Tai in his debates, is that, much and Tai's the same as me, I hate to lose, but, the thing about Tai is that he's not necessarily good at remembering specific evidence from the manga, at least when it comes to plot. When it comes to power levels, that's Tai's specialty. Why are some people so hateful of Katakuri? He isn't a bad villain, and he isn't the best villain either. People are hateful of Katakuri simply because other people are, like, dick riding Katakuri. That's basically how it is. Whenever you have people who are just completely to the hilt on someone's dick, there's naturally going to be, dissidents. Do you think moving forward we are going to see more characters with observation Haki on the level of Katakuri's in terms of being able to see into the future? Or do you think he's unique with that ability? I think he's probably going to be unique with that ability. I don't think you're going to see many other people with future seeing abilities, because there are certain ways you can trade observation Haki. Katakuri trained his observation Haki to get to that point in time. But that doesn't mean that's the only thing you can do when you're training your Haki, right? There are other ways. There are other things you can do. Maybe there are other levels of Haki that you can train too. Like, for instance, Shanks' Haki, his Conqueror's Haki or whatever, it can literally affect the environment. So it wouldn't be beyond reason to say that Shanks can't see into the future. But his Haki's on an obviously different level. Where's Cole, by the way? Did he die? Listen. Cole's never getting those reactions out, people. He's going to be going on 3 weeks without doing shit. I don't know. He's probably busy with school. Who was that guy in that stream who thought Jinbei would join Luffy? Oh, Theory. Theory 2. Yeah, Theory thinks that Luffy's going to survive the 9 hours of fighting left, and Jinbei's going to join in and throw tea on Katakuri, and that's how they're going to beat him. Which I can't tell if he's serious or if he's just triggered at people at the prospect of Luffy winning by himself. Why do you think Luffy reacted to Nami naked, but not to Hancock naked? Basically, if you want to look for those answers, you can look into the SPSs. But then again, you can always argue that Oda has an agenda. So, I mean, there's multiple answers to it. Nothing's right so far. There's not enough evidence to clarify one thing over the other. Yo, what's up, Sir Bacon? Drizzt, what do you think about Goa Kingdom being Rafto because we didn't get any map for that specific island like the others? We did get a general layout of the land for Goa and location-wise to Fuchsia Village. Do you think Stutzy is going to try and cover up much of the Whole Cake Island via threatening Big Mom Morgans, or will there be some major bounty hikes? I think that there's going to be a lot of it covered up. But I feel like there's probably going to be a general bounty rise after Wano. I don't know if there's going to be one in between. Yo, Sir Bacon in the chat. Not giving Sanji a fight sounds like a good way to troll Oro Jackson. It would be a really good way. But the thing is, if Sanji got a fight, as I said, it has to basically start and end before Luffy's does. So it's not going to be that long, I don't think, unless Luffy's fight continues for another 3 or 4 chapters. Now, I've made this argument before, guys. People don't seem to like it. But, when you have character-centric arcs where it's revolving around one character, that general character is never usually in the spotlight for that arc. They don't have the greatest feats. and conflict around them usually resolves somewhat quickly in terms of fighting. So, if Sanji does get a fight, it'll probably be like a chapter, max like 2 chapters long. It's not going to be like an extended thing, I don't think. You don't understand why people already consider Katakuri the number 1 antagonist already. We've seen him as a secondary character for about 20 chapters, and him actually doing shit for 7. Yonko Dick Riders, remember? Yonko Dick Riders. People are fascinated by the concept of Yonkos. Someone being your favorite character isn't something you decide logically. That's true. I had a theory and you laughed at each one and told me to justify each one. Was that... Oh, yeah, Instigator. What you were talking about... And I actually, if you remember from like the stream, like, yeah, I did kind of scoff at it, but I also did try to justify to other people why you may think that theory was so. So I tried to back it up. I just didn't believe in it. And I believe yours was the one where Luffy is not Dragon's son. Is that correct? Am I remembering it right? Not even after the Great War time skip. The only time skip there's going to be is if there's an epilogue. Which isn't really a time skip because it's the end of the series. So, I mean, like, it's kind of irrelevant. Did Drizzt roast Roger? Kinda. Even my panel evidence, you told me to justify my theory, because I didn't think your panel evidence was enough to actually support your theory by itself. Yo, what's up, Omac? What do you guys think the first Yonko bounty is going to be? It's going to be fucking huge, dude. I imagine it will be. 3 billion, that's probably a good guess. Yo, thanks for the clarification, Bit01. That's what I kind of thought. Cole more late than Braga, way more late. He's like the latest person you could possibly be. Would any Yonko level figure have observation hockey better than the commander? Yeah, obviously. Because like it depends. Because you can have better observation hockey than someone, but not see into the future. Like you don't need to have that ability to be better than someone in observation hockey. I don't think. So it's the Kata fans' fault. Stop being toxic. Oda made a new likable character, and some Luffy fans are insecure about this. Both sides are insecure, Headmaster. What I point out, as you're talking about, the question was, you know, why was Katakuri rising up among people's favorites? He's a likable character, but the reason why he's favorite is due to fascination for Yonko level people and people around that level. That's always been the case. It's the same thing with Shichibukai. People become obsessed with those individuals due to the aura surrounded around them, mainly based upon their strength. And whenever you get to extremes, you get to extremes in both levels. You have Luffy fanboys and you have Katakuri fanboys. Fanboy implying it's sort of extreme to it. And the most vocal people in the community are 9 times out of 10 fanboys. Because they are very adamant about what they believe. So, you are oftentimes going to see more people one-sided and biased than you are going to see people being objective. Myself, I think Katakuri is awesome. But he's obviously, you know, at least set up for now, not the best antagonist in the series. There's not enough narrative around him. The arc isn't about him. There's not enough motivation given to put him over other people. That could happen, though. Oda could give him bigger motivation, but it's just unlikely. Let's see. Drizzt, there is a popular theory in the Chinese One Piece community that Nami is 1/4 mermaid, like Chimney from 1 to 7. They said the clues are that Nami is good at swimming, punk hazards, so Orland Park. She likes to be around water, bath, and she can sense weather really well. Those are kind of arbitrary reasons, because sensing weather, as far as I can remember, maybe I'm wrong, but that's not been directly linked to mermaids, as well as, you know, foreshadowing, like, I don't know. But I can understand the theory. Maybe it has some basis. But did not did Chimney have any physical features reminiscent of a fishman, like webbed feet? I forget. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But, you know, I don't know. It's an alright theory. You know, I can't disprove it necessarily. Do I think there's going to be a Buster Call? I don't think so. I think it's possible, but I don't believe it's going to happen. Do I really think Luffy was born in the Goa Kingdom? Yo, I'm actually not sure. My guess is no. I don't think he necessarily was. It's hard to say because it's like, how do you know? It's basically what you want it to be. Because I want to know one of my favorite things I want to see in the series is I want to see another flashback of Luffy before he arrived at Fuchsia Village. I want to know, did he live in in Hightown? Was he a noble? Did he come from another island and then set to live there? It's very interesting because you can make it either one. Yo, what's up, Super Ultimate Geek? Just what if Morgan's is actually a bird zone? I think not. That was kind of disproven in this arc, at least. Because there were other bird people who looked like Morgans. Also, Cole was on a cruise. Yes, but as far as my knowledge is, Cole spent a long time on that cruise actually editing videos. But he came home. Whenever Cole got done from the cruise on his Twitter, he posted a gift. It was like time to get to work, and it's been like a week. So I mean, he's behind a little bit. What's up, Shimp? Yo, see you later, Tyler. Dofi versus Boa, who do you think is stronger? Situationally, like, if you're going to ignore Boa's, like sexiness in terms of how effective her fruit is, I'd probably say Dofi. I don't know why Boa would be stronger than Dofi. But it's hard to say because we don't really have an accurate estimation of Boa's strength. So, it's basically who you feel like is better. Dofi has feats. Boa hasn't really been like the main star of a fight. So you can't say, we don't know what the limit of her abilities are. And we might never know. So if you wanted to be like unbiased about it, we don't know yet. But an argument you can make is that, Oda's treatment of women might suggest one way over the other. In fairness, Katakuri has a really nice design, some cool unique powers, and has proven to be quite badass to this point. Pretty easy to see why he's got a large fan base. Oh yeah, obviously, I already said, there are reasons to like him. But my main point is that, there's really no reason to put him at number one antagonist in the entire series. Here's my next theory. If the bounties get raised, Luffy's bounty is going to be 900 million, 100 million lower than Kaido's weakest commander. Maybe. I would guarantee you that most of the community would be butthurt about that simply because Sabo fans would be throwing a rage. Because, there are a lot of Sabo fans out there, and they were probably, and from what I remember, they were pissed off at Sabo getting a 602 bounty. And, many people believe Sabo to be, near Admiral level, which is, crazy strong. So, and bounties don't necessarily correlate to strength, but a lot of people consider it to be, a sign of strength. It'll also be a huge bounty raise. I could see that happening if Kaido is defeated in Wano. I could definitely see that happening after Wano, not after this arc, though. Drizzt, do you think you will ever get a full explanation of Nami and Franky's heritage and background? Both were left in mystery, so if Oda wanted to he could touch them later. Yeah, I do think he's going to. I'm not the highest supporter of them getting expanded backstories, but evidence would suggest we're getting something for Sanji, probably going to get something for Zoro and Wano. Then you need the rest of the crew as well, which is at least the rest of the crew that has undefined backgrounds. So Nami among them, parents, same with Franky, undisclosed parents. I do think he can allocate time for that. We know for a fact we're going to be seeing Vegapunk, and as much as I hate to say it, I hate the idea of Franky having a close relation to Vegapunk, but a way to define why that would be so is there was a theory before that some of Frankie's parents were among the renegade scientists that were with Vegapunk and Judge. So, there could be a correlation there. As far as Nami goes, I'm of the party that thinks that her backstory will be revealed and expanded upon in Emerald City. Name top 4 strongest / favorite One Piece characters, then put them in a battle royals against who would win. No Yonkers, no Fleet Admirals, no Admirals. Oh, no, I'm not gonna. There's no way I can. What's up, Oscar Noda? Saba versus Ace versus Luffy. I don't know. I mean, I think Luffy's stronger than Ace now. I think that's kind of obvious. Versus Saba, we don't know. Not enough evidence to say one way or the other. What are your thoughts on the Snow Bunny theory? Certainly very possible. Very possible. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily sold on it. Because, one of the main things against it, in my opinion, is like how Oda handles death in the series. So, we will see. Koala is Nami's older sister, not just for the similar past, but they look so much alike. And the mystery behind Nami biological family, because I'm pretty sure Nami and Koala pasts are connected. I wouldn't necessarily say that, Instigator. There's really not much to justify that type of reasoning. They have similar pasts, but a lot of characters have similar pasts, but they aren't necessarily correlated. Yeah, I feel the same way, Omak. I don't think Luffy's going to get really much of a raise after this arc. Yeah, many people have doubts about Kaido going down in Wano, and there's reasons for that as well. One of the major components is that if Kaido's going to go down, people don't think it's going to happen in just one arc. Joy Boy has mentioned many, many times in streams that it would basically Kaido wants to start the greatest war the world has ever seen, and to do so would need more than just Wano as it's seen. So if there might be 2 arcs there in Wano, where the second part's a huge war, we don't know. But if Kaido is in Wano, and there is a second arc, it would basically imply that Kaido runs away, which is weird because you wouldn't necessarily assume that to be true. He would have to basically be influenced to run away, and I don't think Kaido's that kind of individual unless there was something for his goals. Like I said in my Shanks versus Kaido theory, there would have to be incentive for him to do so. It'd be kind of weird. I don't know. You think Pizarro from Blackbeard's career is more likely than Vegapunk to have a personal connection to Frankie? Why do you think that, Gambia? What's Emerald City? It's one of the mythological places that Bellamy talked about in the Jaya arc, where they're in the bar, right? And basically they were talking about Skypiea, and in order, Bellamy was mocking them believing in such fictitious things. He was like, the City of Gold, One Piece, Emerald City. So you would assume the other 2 are actually true. We know for a fact One Piece is real. We know that Jaya, the City of Gold, is real. So therefore, the Emerald City is real as well. And speaking of things related to Jaya, the next theory that I'm trying to work on is related to something we learned in Jaya, or a character in Jaya. But it's probably the hardest theory I'm ever going to have to do, because a lot of it's basically speculation and not really supported by evidence. Omax says, I'm hoping for some marine interference in the end this arc, though. It's been a long time since we've seen any marine/navy now. That is very true. It has been a hot minute. Although, I mean, to be real, it's just Rosa. But, it's been a long time. I don't necessarily want marine involvement. I don't think it's going to happen. Would it be cool? It depends on who's there. If Kaido's not going down, then how is the shot's going to free Wano? Maybe Kaido isn't in Wano. Now, that's a possibility. What do you think about the Island of Dreams that Cricket is going to right now? That's my theory. That is my theory. That is the theory that I'm making right now. I'm doing research for it. I can show you guys a little bit of the page that I'm working on. Let me see here. Blah, blah, blah. So basically, like, it's one of the more complex theories. Like, I'm actually not going to show you, but, like, it's just a bunch of tabs. But, you know, I'm trying to work on Nakroa. It's really hard because there's very little evidence. So if I do make it, it's not going to be my best theory. But I've never actually seen a theory based on Nakroa, so I want to be the first one to do it. It's just hard because I have to do a lot of research. Got to do some more diving into this book, which is Gulliver's Travels. I've made a theory based upon this as well in relation to Usopp and Noland. It's going to come again right here. But yeah, rereading the Jaya arc currently. Just read us some bedtime cancer theories like last week. I'm going to be reading some predictions. What's up, Penguino? What's up? Did my review of Roger's video. Just chill with the chat right now. Just why exactly do you think Nami's backstory will be covered in Emerald City? You know, there was a good theory I read on Oro Jackson that sounds somewhat convincing to me narrative-wise to it, and I'm sure many of you have actually probably heard it because it was basically an idea that Alpha covered in one of his videos. But, you know, I could show you the theory if you wanted to, but, you know, there are many reasons why I think it could happen. Yeah, my advice would be just to look it up yourself and read the theory. Just you read Attack on Titan shit's going on in the latest chapter. I do read it, but I haven't read the latest chapter. Wano is shaping up to be a war just as big as Marineford, if not bigger, with some huge characters involved. Do you think we'll see some sea battles alongside battles on land and air? That would be so sick. That would be so sick. I would love that, actually. Are you of the opinion that Jack is the weakest of Kaido's commanders? Yeah, I am of that opinion. Weakest in the terms of that, you know, if there are 3 commanders, he is the 3rd commander, not the 2nd or the 1st. Coming for your next theory, you're legit the best One Piece theorist next to Joy Boy. Hey, thank you very much, Lucky D. I really appreciate your compliment because, you know, if I can put myself next to Joy Boy, that's already an accomplishment, right? Sexually. The Japanese name of Nakuro roughly translates to Village of Illusion. It's also called the Island of Dreams in Nakuro. There's a couple translations of it. An Island of Dreams is actually more accurate in my opinion because it also relates to some things we've learned about Noland in Jaya, where he's basically a man who talks about dreams. So, you know, I find it a little bit more fitting. And I have some ideas as to what it might be. And a lot of it has to deal with the connections I think Oda has plainly told us in Gulliver's Travels, in correlation to other characters. We're going to find out, though, because some of the ideas, like for the islands in this book, haven't been covered yet in One Piece. But I don't know if Oda's going to do it the exact way things have been done in Gulliver's Travels. Post theory link senpai. I'll do it whenever I go to the predictions. I'll show you guys. How strong do you think Loki's going to be in the One Piece story? I don't know. Hard to say. Sanji modified or not? Not. Let's see. Gambia. Pizarro has the same blue hair, similar body build, uses mechanical gadgets on his arms, and seems set up to be for his opponent in the back for a coup fight. Reasonable thing. Reasonable argument. Alright guys, I'm going to open the Oro Jackson. We're going to check out some predictions. Probably not going to spend too much time on it. I'll go over some of the ones that I know are going to be good from the users that we've seen in the past. Let's see. Window capture. There we go. Boom. Let me get that logo out of the way. Let me get the Nami 1 and 2. Boom. Boom. Let me see here. Let me see here. Alright. Windows capture 2. No, that's not it. Windows capture 1. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright. Let me see here. Alright, there we go. That sounds good. Boom, boom. Do I think the shards will go into space? Nope. I do not think so. Alright. Let's get to it. Chapter 885. Predictions. Alright. Chapter title, Gear 4th versus Katakuri. Luffy and Katakuri continue fighting, with Katakuri dominating using his powerful mochi. Luffy starts to avoid powerful mochi and lands a hit on Katakuri. Ooh. Cuts away. Whoa, holy guacamole. God dang. Actually, there's a comment real quick that I want to go into. I think it was... Let me see. I forget where it was. Where is it? Oh. Pinguino, just out of curiosity, how was Tai and Braga's stream? I'm surprised you thought of or tried reasoning with a man. You know, it was frustrating to argue with Tai, but, you know, I treat him with the same respect that I try to treat everyone with, and that I'm not going to, like, just basically just give him a W simply because, you know, he's stubborn, so. And besides, everyone's bound to have a run-on with Tai if you're on Braga's stream. It's just my time. Pound is still getting pounded into the floor by Oven, who is telling him to leave. 2 hours of Pound getting beaten up? Please, no. Not my boy. Sanji coming in halfway through baking the cake. Oven is beating the shit out of Pound for 2 hours? God damn, dude. Daifuku shows up on Cacao Island along with lots of Pete's keepers. Okay. That's a pretty short chapter, alright. That's pretty reasonable, actually. We got... Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, guys, get ready. We have my boy, D fucking Sanji. Oh my god. Title, how dare you? Yeah, okay. Note, there is no Katakuri versus Luffy in this chapter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be an all Sanji chapter. Let me tell you guys. D Sanji. Chapter begins at Cocoa Island. Wow, what a surprise. Oven begins to vigorously... Oh, Joy uploaded a video about Black Clover. What a boy. Oven begins to vigorously beat up Pound. Leave Pound alone until he's bloodied and bruised. Chiffon is fed up with hearing all the noise, so she goes to the window to see what's happening. She watches as Pound cries her name while getting beat up. She puts two and two together and realizes that's her father, and she goes outside to tend to him and stop Oven. Oh, jeez. As soon as Oven sees her, he smiles, but he soon remembers that Chiffon is the wife of the enemy, and he cannot no longer view her as the same as his sister. He angrily asks where Capone and threatens Pound if she doesn't say so. Chiffon begins to cry, and tears begin to flood. What the fuck? So, oh, Jesus Christ. Sanji senses her tears and looks through a window to see what's going on. He sees Oven and quickly realizes that he is a Big Mom pirate. Wow, that's the observation hockey right there. He's a Big Mom pirate. He quickly decides to intervene as Oven throws a heat punch towards Pound. But before Sanji could attack, 3 missiles hit Oven, and he's sent flying into the building, destroying multiple gigantic Wait, what? Oh, flying into a building around, and Capone arrives and reunites with Chiffon. He quickly explains that if it weren't for his mechanic boat and the quick route they took, they'd never come here in time. Chiffon quickly introduces Pound to Capone and tells Capone that she can't go yet until the cake is done. She says to take Pound as far away as possible and to not fight her brother Oven. She then enters the factory again. Oven showing up. I'm a fan of this. Love that. Love Capone, my boy Capone showing up. Sanji and Pudding watch quietly through the window, but are soon shocked to see that gigantic armament fist punch Capone into the nearby houses. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here it comes. It's Brother Daifuku. If he sees us, we're dead meat, Pudding exclaims. Sanji realizes he's the guy who was attacking him during the wedding. Oh, geez, here we go. Daifuku enters with his gigantic genie to his side. Gigantic? Gigantic? And laughs at Oven, who emerges from the rubble he was put under. So Capone gets one shot here? Is that it? How did you get here so quickly, Oven? Questions. I used the mirror world, Daifuku chuckled. But more importantly, why is Capone here? I bet this is Pudding's doing. Daifuku mumbles. I don't know, but we're apparently not allowed to go inside the factory. Pudding's orders, Oven exclaims. No one tells me what to do, especially that brat, Daifuku shouts. Okay, this is kind of a standard Pudding, like Pudding Daifuku thing. Daifuku enlarges his genie. Huh? He then proceeds to lift the factory up. What the fuck? Lifts the factory up with his devil fruit and sees Sanji and Pudding. The couple looks upwards towards the giant genie that looks horrifyingly scared. Is this a shout out to Aladdin? How dare you, Pudding? Daifuku screams. Chapter ends. Oh god, that is kind of a boring chapter. But it's alright. I expect no less from Sanji. You know, as much shit as I give Sanji, yeah, it's not completely unreasonable. I've read a lot worse. Okay, this is really fucking long. God damn it. I'm not gonna read that one. Oh god. Maybe I will read it. I don't know. I don't want to read it. So long. There we go, Lasana. There we go. This is nice and short. Let's see. 6 o'clock cake is ready. Alright. Nothing but a few scenes about Katakuri versus Luffy, who still can't land a single punch now. And Luffy knows that he will lose Haki in a few minutes. Then he saw the donuts. Katakuri left. Oh, jeez Louise. Nami saw a fishman in the sea and informs Jinbei. Jinbei knows him from the Sun Pirates. The fishman said they manipulate the sea slugs so they can reach Cacao Island much faster now. Hold up. What? What the fuck is that? What? Huh? What? Okay, Nami calculates the new course and they could arrive at Cacao at 9 o'clock now. Okay. But they are worried now since Luffy still believes they will arrive later. Sanji put half of his secret ingredient in the cake. It's the ultimate sweetness, and 1 ounce is enough to satisfy an island for weeks. Okay. An overdose like this will put anyone in a diabetic coma for... What the weeks. Everything weeks. Weeks. But after this coma, they don't want to eat anything sweet anymore. Okay. It's near 6 o'clock and the cake is ready. Oven is still outside and waits for Pudding. Pudding is worried about that and asks Sanji for help. Sanji will customize as a cook, and as long as the cake will be transported to the ship. She should talk to Oven to prepare the ship, so they do and arrive the... What the fuck? The cake is ready on the ship, and as a cannon shot destroy... What? Okay. Oh, so the Vince Smokes destroyed the cake. Okay. Alright, kind of a boring chapter. Alright. Bouncy Circus. Oh, this is Flower. I'm sure this is going to be Vince Smoke or correlated. Let's see. Luffy still fights Katakuri. He is bouncing from wall to wall due to the impact of powerful Mochi. Katakuri has trouble predicting Luffy's movements and can only run around trying to dodge the attacks. Wow, okay. I wouldn't say that's necessarily going to happen. He notices the walls Luffy slams into are turning into rubber. Oh, no. Katakuri, he can use Awakening too? No, it seems he is doing it unintentionally. Okay, that makes a little more sense. If Luffy's going to use Awakening, it would be unintentional at first. Just like his Conqueror's Haki. Luffy feels dizzy due to the way he moves, but he tries to keep it together in order to keep on bouncing around. Let's see. The rubber properties of the walls increase Luffy's speed. He is set on fire due to his speed. No, come on. Katakuri is shocked since he cannot dodge... Yeah, hold up, what? Okay, Katakuri is shocked since he cannot dodge fire attacks. Gomu Gomu no Bouncy Circus. Katakuri is overwhelmed by the force of Luffy's attack. Brule, who is looking around, and gets hit by Luffy, who slams into a mirror near the sweet factory on Cacao. Luffy and a defeated Katakuri slam right into the factory and destroy the freshly made wedding cake. Everyone is shocked. Come on. Dude. Come on. Please. Alright. Ugh. Let's go with the next one. Title, Surprise. Chapter starts with Luffy and Katakuri. Alright, Luffy is sent flying to the wall and takes heavy damage. Okay. Luffy stands up and sprints towards Katakuri. Well, Luffy can't really sprint in Gear 4th, but you know. Katakuri sees the future and dodges Luffy's attacks. Alright. Luffy knows that he needs to suppress Katakuri's focus in order to prevent him from seeing the future. Makes sense. So he uses Culverin. Katakuri dodges the attack, realizes the attacks are following him non-stop. He dodges Python. Then Luffy appears suddenly behind him and hits him very badly with a Leo bazooka. See, this isn't really good because, like, the way Katakuri counters things, he can counter Luffy's attacks if he knows the future. So, like, he would basically foresee, like, the nature of Culverin moving. At least I would imagine so. Back to Cacao Island, we see Oven, who is attacking. Leave Pound alone, dude. Holy shit. Pound begs Oven to stop. That's what I'm doing, but Oven won't stop. Stop! Oven hits Pound so badly that he sends him flying into the building where Sanji is. Oh, please. Please don't make that happen. Sanji and others see Pound crash into the building, and they are surprised about what just happened. Oven looks into the building and suddenly sees Sanji and Pudding together. Oven realizes that Pudding teamed up with Sanji. Oven and Sanji start fighting with each other. Okay. Back to the mirror world. Luffy's Leo Bazooka hit Katakuri so bad that Luffy sends Katakuri flying towards Brulee's place. Brulee sees her brother being sent flying into the wall. She is shocked, seeing for the first time Katakuri laying on the ground and being hurt by someone. This could happen. I like that part, not necessarily what's leading up to it. Katakuri stands up and throws his scarf away in order to fight Luffy better. What the fuck are you talking about? What? Come on. So he can fight better? What is it? How? Brulee sees Katakuri's face, being extremely shocked. Now, Brulee could see his face, but this way of doing it is like far-fetched. Alright. Hashtag protect Pound. That's right. Protect Pound in chat. Alright, let's see what we got. Chapter, title, Fire and Heat. I'm assuming this is Sanji versus Oven. Starts with Luffy being exhausted, still in Gear 4th, and he gets knocked back from another one of Katakuri's attacks. Luffy regains composure and flies at Katakuri using Culverin. Katakuri uses his observation Haki to dodge, but he sees that Luffy attacks keep going and he couldn't dodge. These two have the same idea. He gets hit, but while getting hit, he moved his power emoji behind Luffy and attacks him from behind, knocking Luffy to the ground. Okay. Time. 6 o'clock. Holy crap. 2 hours passed? Are you kidding me? No way. Cut to Germa 66 heading towards Cacao Island and see Big Mom destroy Nuts Island and continue to hurry towards the Straw Hats. They catch up and surround the Straws with their snails to provide cover. This fast? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They just arrive at Nuts Island, and the Straw Hats after 2 hours are fucking nowhere near Nuts Island, but they just catch up instantaneously. Alright. Jinbei sees some fish and asks what happened to the snails. Is this racist? Is this supposed to be fishmen, but it's calling them fish? Celestial dragon, what are you talking about? Jinbei then starts crying, knowing that they've risked their lives to help. Jinbei doesn't really cry, bro. Jinbei doesn't cry that much. With looking in the crow's nest, Carrot sees Big Mom surfing fast towards the Straw Hats. So, holy shit. So we see this, Big Mom destroying the island, and then Big Mom basically catching up to them. Holy shit. Daifuku on a ship falling fast behind. Because he was in the mirror world, but now it's just like he's on the ship now. Got it. Jinbei asks the whale sharks to help slow down Big Mom. Okay. Back to Cacao Island is almost done, and Oven punched Pound through the door again. Almost hitting the cake, but Sanji kicks him out of the way. Leave Pound, what the fuck? Leave Pound alone. Why is he getting so much abuse? Leave my boy Pound alone. Sanji sees Oven and asks Pudding to take care of everything here while he handles this pest. Alright. Okay, we got Mr. Kishido, who is a Katakuri fanboy, so let's see if there's any bias in this. Let's see, Part 1 Mirror World. Luffy is hurt badly from Katakuri's attack. Okay, he's trying to recover. Okay. Katakuri states that he's impressed with Luffy's level, but he states that won't be enough. Okay. He tells Luffy that he still has to learn so many things and that he has to go through so much and know more about the powers in the Shinsekai. Just Shinsekai, come on. Please. Nuts Island. Big Mom is destroying Nuts Island. Okay. Pero is talking to Linlin, trying to stop her, but she's not responding. Amande appears in Nuts Island. She's the Minister of Nuts, after all. She's confirmed to be a Charlotte as well. Her bounty is 442 million. She's the 11th daughter. Amande and the rest try to talk to Big Mom, stop her and help the citizens, but it doesn't work. Okay. Within Big Mom's territory, Gastillo is back. Oh, baby. He's a part of something really big. Stussy is back and is about to get into her ship contacting CP0. She somehow knows about what's happening. What? She just knows, alright? She just knows. Raw Blue, she's the leader of CP0 fleet, and they're waiting to... Why would they be waiting at the territory? But they haven't entered yet. Morgan's is back too, and he knows about what Stussy is doing. He's excited. Sanji senses a strong presence in Whole Cake Island. So Sanji's on Cacao Island, but he senses a strong presence on Whole Cake Island. Are you fucking kidding me? Oven as well as senses that there is somebody quite strong on Cacao Island. I think this is a typo. I think this is meant to be Cacao Island and not Whole Cake Island, because that would be fucking ridiculous. It doesn't also make sense, because they're trying to apply an Oven versus Sanji matchup, but Oven's in Cacao Island and not Whole Cake Island. So that's a typo, I'm assuming. Let's see. Mirror World Part 2. Luffy is back to the fight. He tries to take Katakuri again, but fails again and again. Katakuri uses another strong awakening attack and hits Luffy again. Katakuri pierces the Gear Force with his trident. Brule appears, apologizes for interrupting, and tells Katakuri that she has something important to tell him. Oh, Jesus Christ. So this is where the fight's going in. So basically, the way they want this to fight to end is that Katakuri fodderizes Luffy and then has to leave because of Big Mom destroying Nuts Island. That's why they have the Amande set up. Is that basically the only way for Luffy to live is for basically Katakuri to run away. That's what they're setting up. Well, probably nothing with Luffy and Katakuri. Alright. Alright, we go. Oh, my boy, Rockinex. The fucking... The shit right here. Title, Cacao Island Panic. Oh, here we go. Capone arrives. The people recognize him and begin to panic. Oven recognizes him. Beige, why are you here? Capone says, shut up! Pound says, you are Capone Beige. You are the husband of my sweet little Chiffon. Capone thinks, is this Chiffon's father? Pound, she is in the factory, but the people won't let us in. Oven, Chiffon is in the factory? What the heck are they doing there? Blah, blah, blah. Capone attacks Oven. Okay. Reasonable, at least in some sense. It doesn't explain the time gap, but reasonable. Again, Nami spots a fishman. Nami isn't even on lookout. At least, like, have Carrot, Brooke, and Chopper do this. Jinbei knows him and asks why the some parts did not leave. The fisherman says, our captain said we shall help you. Okay. Jarba. Ship sails to Cacao Island. Ichiji, Niji, and Yoji are throwing the Big Mom soldiers overboard. Yoji, oh, was that this devil fruit guy? Niji holds an apple which transforms into a devil fruit. I guess it was his last mission, haha. Reiji watches them and thinks, Sanji, we will be with you soon. Judge is shown lying in the infirmary. At least this is not one of the many predictions showing that Judge died. I was tired of seeing that. Ugh. Cake Factory. Sanji and the rest finish the cake. Oh, holy crap. What? There's no time management here. Holy crap. 4 hours? Are you kidding me? Pudding, this cake will make Mama happy. Sanji, we are not ready yet. The walls break. Capone flies through it and crashes the cake. Pudding and Chiffon are shocked. Beige! Oven stands behind the hole in the wall. Pudding, what is going on here? Pudding, Oven, what have you done? Oven. Pound says Chiffon is in here. I thought you were in danger. Pudding says we are all in danger thanks to you. Oven spots Sanji. What are you doing here? I'm going to make another cake, and I could use an oven for this. Oven tries to attack Sanji, but Sanji dodges. Sanji attacks back. Oven's powers do not work on him. So, pretty basic right there. Although the circumstances leading up to this weren't really explained. Alright. Too long? Let's see. Cypher Pole Zero Stussy. Made by Luffy Fanboy. Stussy is seen in the room which houses books, collecting secrets held by the Big Mom Pirates. Okay. Before she leaves, she decides to burn down rooms to remove her trace. Luffy explains further that not only does he know about his mental weakness, but he also knows how to counter his observation Haki as well. Wow, okay. Luffy goes to attack Katakuri and Kata attempts to dodge. What the fuck is this? And his Kata attempts to dodge with feels intense pressure. Okay. Luffy's Congress Haki is used to emit the will to intimidate Katakuri. Oh, okay, come on, get real here. Come on. The punch connects and Katakuri is sent flying. Katakuri realizes that he needs to hide and will wait it out so that Luffy... Holy guacamole, bro. Come on. Give Katakuri some credit. And wait out so Luffy's Gear Force runs out. But Gear Force is too fast, and Katakuri uses Power Mochi in an effort to defend himself. Katakuri gets sent through a wall. Katakuri blends into the mirror world by turning the walls into Mochi and letting himself get absorbed by it. Now, that's actually a pretty sick idea. That's a sick idea right there. Luffy decides to break the mirror world and begins his assault with a Kong organ. Katakuri is forced out of the walls and is about to be finished off when Gear 4 runs out of Haki. No. It's not going to be that simple. Not going to be that simple. I don't like this. I don't like what's put in the pages. Alright, I like this. Title, The Time Has Come. Cover story. Okay, I don't care. Nuts Island is eradicated. Some pirates find Pedro's body. Sun Pirates? The Sun Pirates? Okay. Luffy reveals new techniques from Random Kong Gun, Random Rhino. Okay. Sanji saves Pound from death. Leave Pound alone! Pound sees Chiffon and gets some apple juice. Yeah, fuck yeah. More of this. That's right. Get them apple juice. SRT and Jinbei arrive at Cocoa Island. SRT? It's not the Sun Pirates. And it's not the Fire Tank Pirates. SRT. I don't know. Beige meets up with the Vinsmokes en route to Chiffon. What? Beige meets up with the Vinsmokes. Okay. Beige is revealed to be a Moth Zoan Devil Fruit user. That'd be dope. Someone arrives and makes an unexpected impact. Big news returns. Break next week. Alright. Oh, we got my boy Dizzy, so I'll do him the service of reading this, even though it's kind of long. Alright. The beaten up long arms and long legs decide to join Ideo's group. Okay, it's not probably going to happen. Let's see. Luffy aims to try and rip off Katakuri's scarf, attempting to get him mad again. Okay. Luffy rushes in at Katakuri with a Leo Bazooka. However, Katakuri uses both of his unstoppable donuts, makes them bigger by adding more mochi, and is able to clash with Leo Bazooka. In the end, Luffy gets sent flying back, and Katakuri's unstoppable donuts get destroyed from the... Unstoppable donuts, I love that. Katakuri is impressed Luffy was able to break his unstoppable donuts. Katakuri's oh my god, Dizzy, stop. Katakuri's unstoppable donuts ability links the action he makes with his hands to that of the floating mochi hands. Every action he makes with his real hands is also applied to his mochi hands. Makes sense. Katakuri can also use the same technique on his legs, in which his actual leg actions mirror his floating mochi legs. His feet will also have the glow around them that show their length. Oh, that'd be dope. That'd be actually freaking dope. I actually hope that happens. It kind of gives me the feeling, you guys like know like the hands from like Super Mario? It's kind of like that. Katakuri links his hands again and gives one of them Mogra. Okay, oh, that'd be dope. Big Mom is shown rampaging on Nuts Island. Paraspero tries to contact some siblings in order to lessen the damage to Nuts Island. Daifuku doesn't pick up, but Smoothie does and says that she's on her way. Oh, jeez. Smoothie back in action, baby, to do nothing against Big Mom. The Straw Hats are making steady progress. However, the Big Mom Pirates have a clever strategy. Due to the position of the Nut, Biscuit, Cheese, and Jam Island, their turrets set out and form a massive circle around the Straw Hats. Alright. Okay, that's what the formation they're talking about. Although all the straws, all you have to do is just go over here. This isn't necessarily, you know, if you're making a circle here, it's not necessarily like, I don't know. They know from their last sighting that the Straw Hats are somehow within the circle, so they therefore bring the circle closer and closer until they meet with the Straw Hats. Compote is leading the circle operation. That's how you know this is fan fiction. Compote and Smoothie in the same chapter? Get real, Dizzy, please. The chapter ends with the Sunny crew realizing that they are already trapped and it is only a matter of time before the Big Mom Pirates circle formation closes in on them. Alright, it's a pretty good chapter, actually. Alright. Heating up. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, you guys can already see where this is going. This guy's avatar is Sanji dodging the jelly bean, and it says, oh look, a snail flew past me. This is going to be pandering to Sanji 100%. Just look at heating up. Let's look at it. Alright, let's go on. On the board of the Sunny, Aladdin and Prangley meet with Jinbei, and Jinbei thanks them for helping them, though, but tells them that they need to leave immediately. Jinbei and Aladdin nod a final time and split ways, with Jinbei shedding a tear. Alright. The scene changes to the outside of the sweet factory. Uncle Kong. Oh, here we go, boys. Here we go. Here we go. Pound is being delivered a powerful blow when Chiffon opens... Leave Pound... Fuck! When Chiffon opens the door and screams for Oven to stop. Oven tells Chiffon that she is no longer a member of their family and that he does not have to listen to her. Oven heats up his gloves with a technique called Oven Mitts. That's actually pretty... That's cool. Oven Mitts. Oda would do that. This causes his gloves to ignite, which he then covers in arm and hockey. Okay? Which he then uses to deliver a punch to Chiffon, who has to put herself before Pound. Suddenly, Sanji bursts through the door of the factory and blocks Oven's punch with a double jumping kick. Alright, cool. Oven is shocked, saying the heat he is generating is immense. Okay. Sanji says that he's a cook who is not afraid of heat. Sanji and Oven disengage. Sanji tells Pound and Chiffon to get inside and keep preparing the cake. Pound's only gonna fuck that up, I can tell you right now. Pound's gonna fuck that up if he's helping. Veterans with a... Okay, so Oven says that he's one of the Big Mom veterans with a bounty of 740 million. More than Paraspero. Okay. That's a fucking lot. Oven comments that Sanji's style of fighting is opposite to him in that he uses his fist while Sanji uses his legs. Sanji says that a cook cannot afford to lose their hands in battle. Oven laughs and says who taught him that, with Sanji replying, Red Leg Zeph. Immediately, Oven is shocked to hear that name. Don't like where this is going. Sanji notices and asks him why he is so shocked. Oven recounts that only one man has ever rejected something from Big Mom and lived with his name, and his name was Zeph, captain of the Cook Pirates with a bounty over $1 billion. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Zeph has over $1 billion berry bounty? Oh yeah? Oh, okay. Alright. Oven states that Zeph had met Big Mom in the past, and Big Mom wanted to marry him, but Zeph rejected her. He was hounded by Big Mom's subordinates, including a young Daifuku and Oven, but Zeph sent them both back beaten. Big Mom never went after him again. Holy shit, Zeph getting some fucking hype in this chapter. Oven smiles and then says that killing Zeph's protege is as good as killing him and goes in to attack Sanji. Sanji flicks his cigarette up in the air and says things are starting to heat up. Holy shit. Alright, this one takes the cake with the fucking Zeph shit, dude. What the fuck? Holy shit. Zeph Yonko level? Holy guacamole. That's some shit right there. God damn. Holy fuck. Zeph is OP. Alright. Robo Noah D. Luffy. Alright. Cocoa Island. Pound begins to cry hard, wanting to see Chiffon, and hearing loud voices, Chiffon walks outside the window. Chiffon goes immediately outside and yells, "Father," crying hard. Oven then punches Pound. Chiffon says, "He is our father. Why you..." Okay. Alright, I'm just going to skip that. Oven said, "He is your father, not mine, and you two aren't my sister now since you helped traitor assassinate us." So one of the things against this idea is that, the plan that Pudding told them was that she was going to force Chiffon to help in baking the cake. So if they're actually believing what Pudding says, then there's really no reason to doubt Chiffon here. Right? I mean, if they know the plan, that would be like the logic, right? When Oven tries to attack Chiffon, Sanji comes out, breaking the door and kick Oven, making him fly through a house. That'd be like the most destructive capability Sanji's shown so far. Mirror World. I actually like to see that though. Luffy lost to Katakuri and his gear breaks out. When Luffy tries to give final blow to Luffy, Katakuri steps backwards and says, "You surprise me, Straw Hat. That's the reason why I don't underestimate you. Looks like I have to win your that." What the fuck did I do? Alright. Cleared my eyes. Going back in again. Luffy lost to Katakuri and his gears ran out. I'm going to assume what that's supposed to mean. This person doesn't seem to be that fluent in English, which is not his fault. When Katakuri tries to give the final blow to Luffy, Katakuri basically does it and says, "You surprised me, Straw Hat, and that's the reason why I don't underestimate you. Looks like I have to win your that snake man form of yours." So Katakuri says, I want to beat you in your other form, which is Snake Man. That's new. I haven't heard of Snake Man. I mean, alright. Okay. Alright, we got Raijin. Didn't they just do one already? Oh, yeah, they literally posted it again. Holy shit, that's way too long. Holy shit, that's way too long. Actually, wait. Actually, if you get rid of the bold, okay, it's not so bad. Alright, we got Playa, 4, 3, 2, 1. Small chance of victory. Alright, Luffy versus Katakuri. Luffy gets hurt by many attacks of Katakuri's new abilities. Katakuri even blocks Gear 4's attacks with his new Awakening Hands. Luffy can't surpass either his Observation Haki or Armament. After some clash, Katakuri shows new attack and hurts Luffy badly. Okay. Jinbei sees Aladdin again and his crew. He thanks them because he knows that they do something to stop the Big Mom pirates. For now, Aladdin tells Jinbei that he never let his old captain alone, even if he is a Straw Hat. Okay. Nuts Island. Big Mom destroys the island. Amande, bounty 510 million, is very angry but can't do anything against Big Mom's rage. So, bigger than the 442. Perospero tries to save the island and calm Big Mom and get her to travel back to Cacao Island. Okay. Cacao Island. Capone and his crew arrive in the place and see how Pound got beaten up by Oven. Bounty 730 million. Once again higher than Perospero. Oven sees Capone and attacks him. Fight begins with Capone versus Oven. Like that. Luffy versus Katakuri. Luffy gets badly beaten up by Katakuri. He only sees one chance to eat Katakuri. Luffy mocks Katakuri about his face, and that makes him very angry. Luffy sees his chance and attacks him with a Leo Bazooka that gets stopped by Katakuri's awakening power. After that, Luffy hit Katakuri with new attacks because Katakuri loses his calm and can't use his observation haki. In the end, Luffy uses a strong attack similar to King Kong Gun, but this time with his legs. And he uses a new attack, Crocodile Axe. It appears that Luffy wins the fight, but Katakuri stands up from the attack. Okay. 510 still lower than Zeph's? Yeah, fucking... It has over a billion. Over a billion. You fucking shitting everyone. Alright, oh, we got a show in here. It's the title, Cacao Island Chaos. I feel like there's one similar to this one. Luffy turns off Gear 4 to save... Luffy's just avoiding Katakuri's attacks. Luffy makes fun of his face. Luffy turns Katakuri and is or isn't? I'm not sure. It says ist. Okay, so that's kind of vague. Whole Cake Island. Someone informs Mont d'Or that Germa managed to escape. Someone? Who? Who? Mont d'Or gives the command to Tamago. Tamago informs Peckham, Perospero, and they start to make preparations. Okay. No island is completely destroyed. Perospero tries to lead Big Mom to Coco Island. Amande is crying. Poor Amande. Cacao Island. Beige arrives. Basically, they start to fight Oven and his squad. Sanji comes out and starts to fight Oven. Alright. And that's everything. So, overall, there's not really that much new stuff shown here. Kind of average, to be honest. Oh, yeah. The Nami theory. That's what you guys wanted to see. Yeah, I'm gonna go real quick. Boom. I'm gonna type in Emerald. Fucking. I don't know. Let's see again. Let me go rating. Let me find it. Let me see. What's the chat saying as well as I'm looking? Whoops. What's up, Emmanuel? Let me see here. Hey, what's up, Max? It's somewhere in here. I know it. I don't think this is it, but I don't think Saffron... Yeah, I don't think it's the one that Saffron did. I think it's a different one. Is this it? Nami's Arc? Nessos, maybe? This might be it. This might be it. Alright, so... I can't remember. Alright, we're gonna go over this real quick. You always come when the live stream is nearing the end? Yeah, you do. You missed a lot, Hashoko. Missed a lot. Yo, what's up, Silvers? Yeah, I did the Roger thing at the beginning of the stream, essentially, like 20 minutes in, but, like, that's like the beginning of the stream for me. Yeah, see ya, Papa. Yeah, I'm gonna link this theory. If you guys want to check it out, you can. Maybe. Not sure. Boop, boop, boop. I think this is it. It might be different, actually, though. I'm gonna check something real quick. Yeah, I don't think this one's definitely not it. Yeah, definitely not it. I think that was the theory I was talking about. At least. Yeah. If you guys want to read it, there it is. me see here. Check out fan made chapter 1000. I've already checked out the fan made chapter where Luffy fights Akainu. I know that guy's working on a new chapter, I think. Or is there a new one out? If there's any chance of you loading the stream so I can watch you roast Roger, yeah, I'm gonna upload it. This stream is being uploaded. I expect a lot of controversy. You'll see how Shoko. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciated. Well, guys, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stay on. I think I'm going to wrap it up soon because it's already been 3 hours. 2.5 hours. Maybe I'll take questions for a little bit longer. I do have to pee, so keep that in mind. Check out Hawkeye Rules Drizzt. I think I've watched some of his things before. Oh, look at that Joy Boy, Black Clover. Is it worth it? I don't know. Hawkeye Rules. Yeah, I think I've seen some of his videos before. I think I've seen some of them. Are these spoilers out? I don't think so. Let me check real quick. Yeah, no. The closest thing I can get to spoilers is that Yonko Productions posted something where it was an old cover for like Shonen Jump, but Yonko usually posts something relevant to the chapters, and the one that was posted was Luffy basically using Red Hawk. It was like firearm, so that's the only thing we really have to go on. Drizzt, do you see the page from Skypiea with Chopper's fight that foreshadowed the calmness and observation hockey thing? Oh, when he's fighting, what's that guy's name? Fuck. The guy, though. Yeah. I can see that being foreshadowing. I doubt Smoothie is useless. She wouldn't be a commander if she was. Facts. What do you think of Kaido as a pawn like the theory? Trash. Trash. Absolute trash. React to some AFT theories? If you guys want me to, I will. If you guys want me to, I will. I'll react to one of your choosing, and I'll call an end to the stream. Up to you guys. You think Luffy's gonna learn summoning Hudus from Raizo? Hudus? Like, oh, summoning Jutsu from... I don't think so. Oh, God. Nakroa. How am I gonna do this theory? I don't know. Ugh. I just finished with my trash. Yo, it ain't trash until I say it's trash, Elder. Let's see, reacted 2 Girls 1 Cup? No. Yeah, I do think so, Omak. Alright, well, there's no, yeah, for reaction, so I think I might call the stream here. Because I actually really need to pee. So I think I will call it here. Decent long stream. So hopefully you guys enjoy what I had to say. Hopefully you took my critiques on Roger with with a grain of salt, and didn't become super offended. But not sure when I'm going to do a live stream next. Probably not until at least the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. If you want to catch me in another stream, then you should check out Brago. I'm assuming all of you have also subscribed to Brago. I usually am now. I'm starting to become a regular in his streams, which is awesome. So if you want to see me in a stream, check out Brago whenever he's doing the chapter streams. I will be there probably. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.